Dara, any comments on the recent volatility in gold?
I don't think there's I mean, it's volatile, right? I think that's the key thing here. It's interesting, too, with the government shutdown, we know there potentially was thoughts of, okay, maybe we'll have this switch into these safe haven assets, but Bitcoin's been struggling, gold's been struggling, so that didn't necessarily behave how we thought it was going to, I guess, especially as the shutdown continues. But yeah, I was seeing earlier, this is actually poised to be gold's worst two-day streak since 2013. The extent of this descent and I guess how rapid this descent was, I think that's going to be certainly worth noting here.
Thank you for that. All right, Joey. 3 minutes over.
It's a lot of OT, man.
It's a lot of OT.
OT
all right.
Genesis.
All right, guys.
Genesis.
Joey covering for me today on the afternoon rundown. I do appreciate that. It'll be me, Adara, on the market recap show with the Tesla earnings. Make sure to catch that with us. But for now, we're sending it that way to the big boys. Take care.
Easy.
All right. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we are back. It is Obi and I. Thank you, Sharif and Joe, right there. Exciting midday show. We had Mark visiting us from Continental Exchange. Nice to see.
Yeah, that was good.
Wants us to do some more volume on the NYSE, so we'll have to go over there and start trading more NYSE names, maybe ASAP. Really happy with that. And
Yes.
I got World Series tickets.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, got 4 of them. Just general admission ones.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that's the only ones available. So they released them. I got the text. They said, "Here's your code." I went in there and battled around. Just $300 a ticket. So putting me back to like 1,500 for 4 tickets. We're going on game 2, so we're excited for that. I'm not even in the right chat over here. So
I heard you can buy and sell tickets too.
yeah. There's a website for that called StubHub. You could. Do.
Okay. So I can just scalp by myself, like through them.
Yeah, you can actually trade them. You can. Yeah, is that what you mean? Like,
That's what I mean. Yeah. Because I think the demand is absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, the resale value of these is I could
Yeah.
probably double your money or something.
Yeah.
I'm not selling that for sure. I'm just trying to log in right now to the thing. So welcome everybody, and we do have some interesting things tonight. We do have tonight the Tesla video. So it's right here, right now. Ramin, please note what's happening on air right now. Yeah, there it is. So in 2 hours, we have an awesome Tesla video to get dropped to you. So at 4:29, if you want to understand the earnings, maybe what we're looking for, there's earnings will be out by then, but just go find the story about Tesla, decide if you want to invest in that or not. But it's a great video. I believe it's Sharif. I believe it's Ramin, obviously producing it with Sharif. But look at this, what happened in the market.
Wow. Yeah.
And we were short the TQQs right at the beginning there, 10 o'clock. Nice downside move. Feel like an idiot, obviously getting out at 105, but what are you going to do? Down to 102.50. I didn't know the market was going to have actually a pretty horrible day today in the Nasdaq, down 1.58%, and then ES down 0.95. It's not great out there, Obi, so there's lots for us to work with here today as we look for some shorting opportunities. I am anyways. I don't know if you're trying to catch some longs off.
I mean, so here's the thing. I haven't really put in too many trades since about, I guess, when was this? About I would say about 12 o'clock maybe. 11, 12 o'clock. Okay, I guess I had this, 12 o'clock. This was, so I did have the BYND kind of a bid, some strong buying showing up here in the $3.50, $4 area. Pretty interesting stuff. I was like, all right, maybe we turn from here. Some good enough buying pressure. I missed the short, man. That was the issue here. So I got short into that $6 level, and the thing is, I didn't give it appropriate risk. I got a risk to at least back up to VWAP or maybe up to the high, but I didn't want to give it a whole dollar from $6. I get stopped out in the quarters, 625s, and then boom, 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 all the way back down, all the way to 360s, I think is that low here, and then we catch a little bit of a bounce and maybe continuation there. But now we've kind of started to consolidate a little bit. I'm observing there may or may not be a little bit of a held offer at 420. Just saying, it's been there right here, and it's sitting there. I saw it when we were up here at 19s and 20s. It's a bit of a held offer for now. But you can see we've been in a strong uptrend off of this downtrend, and maybe a little bit of a reversion coming in from 260s, 280s, all the way to $4.20. So yeah, can we get much higher? That's what I'm asking through that 420. I have no idea. But the market definitely pulled back pretty aggressively. We talked about that 25,000, man. 25,000 again, once again, another day, another one.
Another one.
Another reversion back down in a 25K. So like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna exercise on that?
I know you were talking about that Beyond Meat there, but what a good short that was. I was only battling with the longs, a bunch of halts. We haven't really halted in a minute, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 halts so far here, at least anyways, today in Beyond Meat. But now, looking like it wants to go. So we think about maybe is there a breaking spot here at some point? Because, you know, you were at $7 earlier. Now you're down to 4.25. So thinking about that break, I mean, where would we go long if we're looking at this, you know? Dip buying did not work at all day. You know, what's been working now is riding the trend back to the upside. We wrote down donut at $4, but we've been so, okay, well, $4 has been the bottom. But again, it's kind of trending right now. It doesn't look like we got too much action involved right here. I'm still trying to get Game 7 tickets as well, by the way. But yeah, so that was our donut trade earlier. We got out of it right there and felt pretty good about it in and around 450. So a good trade on DNUT earlier. Google, wow, what a day that one had today. And we get that news as we bust through and then get them all out. We tried to average it in, again, in the back end there, but we wound up stopping out on a 250.50 break there, the low of the day at the time. So yeah, anyways, as we go, we're still into Google. My number one trade today will be Google. And then my number one losing trade is this Beyond Meat that we had earlier on. We were just trying to buy the tops there, and it did not work out. But yeah, Nasdaq down 1.57%. I think it makes a lot of sense to start to think about a short any of the pops, and we're kind of getting one right now in these TQs, right? I mean, we just got that little bump up again into the 50-period moving average. We'll see if we can get a 200 period. That's a little more exciting to me, around 105 or 104 up to 105. I don't know if we're going to get that though, Obi, right here. You guys voted.
They did.
Midday show.
They did.
And we are going to get that going. Are there any green stocks today, Obi? Let me see.
Maybe. I think there has to be. There's got to be. There's got to be some. Money's moving around somewhere, right?
Adam, oh wow. I can't believe Neil still doesn't, like, we talked about that, man. I supposed to have $57.
Yes, 50. You clipped the top.
Yeah, and
you basically clipped because the high was 57.44.
Yeah, and we're talking about SMR.
Off of the open that day.
Yeah, it was right there, right to fill.
You got filled right on the open, and
the thing is, I talked about it right when we got to fill, so it's
they were waiting for you to sell, bro. That's what it was.
I don't think so. But Mara down 7%, Coinbase down 7% today, Roblox down 5%, our guy Palantir down 5%. Wow, this is actually a real nasty day. What is green today? Wow, the only name that we're in. How about that? DraftKings. That's crazy that we're actually in this name, and it is one of the green ones today. So yeah, DraftKings right now today, green. Microsoft, for some reason, holding green. Google, ooh, 0.1, just bouncing back and forth right now. Google is between green and not. XOM also green. So out of all the stocks that I look at there on a regular basis, we got 4 or 5 of them that are green, and some of them are holding on by a very small margin. So yeah, man, you know, lots to talk about here in the afternoon. Yep. Gold would be another thing to talk about as well. Had to move down earlier today, battling back right now, only down 0.6. So we can see if there's a gold trade that's going to be happening. Rigetti and some of the quantum names also. And I don't know what's on the board. I'm going to assume there's a lot of these trades on the board. We saw a big bid on QBTS early today, Obi, and that person hopefully was covering a short, not taking a long, because right now that's down 16%. And I don't feel any kind of ways about these moves happening, because we sat here live, probably with you last week, definitely with Neil and so on and so forth, where I said, there's obviously a lot of froth in some of these names, right? And here they come right back. Look, there's another big size right there on the bid on QBTS. 1,000, so that's 100,000 shares right there on ARCA as well. So lots of shares going through. I don't know if these are traders getting long or covering shorts, but we know that there's some froth here, and it looks like it's coming out just a little bit. SoFi also, this is a name I want to buy on weakness. There's weakness today, down 8%. I mean, wow. And then what about Robinhood? Probably down 122. Ew, down to 7% there. So I don't know, man. It's
the metals, the metal companies that were.
How are they doing?
Just a couple of weeks ago, everyone's talking about those, right?
Right. Oh, USAR.
USAR, MP Materials. Take a look at this. A lot of backside moves happening on this on these names as well. Just a couple of weeks ago, everyone's kind of talking about these. They're like, oh my God, rare earth. Everyone is suddenly an expert in not only rare earth, but rare earth fundamentals and their companies and just the whole sector. And I'm like, that's great, but what's the price action showing, right? Like when you called it out, like that, those were pretty much the tops there, right? back-to-back days, just selling, backside, and pretty much giving up a lot of that initial move that we saw coming into the beginning of the month too. This is just MP. There was, what were some other ones? TMC as well. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, Julian's saying, remember when everyone started pumping quantum? Yeah, man, here's the thing. There's always some sort of like pumping and dumping happening. The question becomes, it's like, when does it become so euphoric? When does the move actually capitulate or exhaust? And when is it actually over? Are people still holding onto their bags onto here, or are still people holding onto their emotions and their sentiment after the price action has already shown them that, okay, maybe sellers are in charge now, where we've pulled back a decent chunk, maybe over 50% in some certain cases? That's up to you. But I think these moves always have a front side and a back side. You just got to be aware and I guess very cognizant about when that's happening and whether your bias is, overweighing what the market is actually telling you. Anyways, regardless, let's take a look at what you guys have been telling us to trade and watch, because I think we are ready.
Yeah, we are. We're ready for the rundown.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, welcome to the afternoon rundown. Yes, the segment chose by you. A lot to talk about today. We have multiple truth posts from Donald Trump himself. We have the overall market red on the session as well, too, whether it be regards with China tariffs or American cattle. There's a lot going on, so let's get this party started, guys. And best believe we're gonna be starting with Beyond Meat. A lot going on. So again, we are experiencing a major short squeeze in this name. We were talking about the options activity yesterday with the gamma exposure absolutely through the roof, almost looking like specific deltas, which is extremely high and something to be cautious about. The at-the-money IV hitting triple digits, high triple digits, and 750% on today's session. Now, the options may be down, but I think it's best that we avoid this one. Now, as for Beyond Meat, everybody's looking for that next short squeeze. Now, what are some of the names that we could potentially be looking at? So you can see Immune Bio, 74% short float, Rocket Companies, 57%, TeraWolf at 41%, and the list goes on with C3AI at the bottom of it, 32.2% short float. Are any of these names going to be the next BYND? Let me know, guys.
Yes, one of them will be. I mean, feel
everyone's
like,
looking for that. But
at some point, we're going to get those. I remember Rocket Companies did actually have a move back. So I'm going to nominate that name there at over 50%. And if you look over at what we saw back in, let's go into a monthly chart. There for this. It did explode. I mean, it was a relatively new IPO, but at the time, this was during the meme craziest, because I remember, because I was in these options actually right there. So you went from like 20, it was never like a $2 or $3 name until it was, but it started to go a little crazy there. So we did have some opportunities there, $17, $18 to get into the 40s. And I remember that day, actually, we were in calls when this day had happened. So that was a pretty good one. And then obviously, we see what happened next. So I would say RKT. There you have that list again, Joe, maybe? I don't know. But there was a couple other names on there. Is there anything that you had got to tonight? Or you guys let me know in the chat, too, if there was something. What was another one? Oh, C3AI. Yeah, BBAI, I think, should be on there as well. I didn't realize C3AI, they're just simple AI, right? Oh, you didn't see BBAI on there? Okay, well, that makes sense. BBAI is 20-something% short float, so that could be another case. And then AI as well, maybe. But I fear like they're not the right prices, right? Which is why I thought DNUT had a chance today. And this was a good one. We did wind up making some money on it. But okay, Obi, I had Beyond Meat there, but this is my number one red name. We only have one red stock today. We've traded Beyond Meat. We've got DraftKings. Right now listed at $34 on the sticky note. That's a banger right here. And then we had Donut, Google, and TQs. So yeah, my time on Beyond Meat was just a hope and pray moment where we thought there was a chance we could moon again today, coming in being up over 100%. But they gave back all 100% today, Obi, and all the way back to the downside. But I got to give credit to you, my friend, because as soon as we sat in here, you asked me to pay for shorts. We paid for shorts. I didn't use them, you did. So let's go talk about that as DraftKings right now. I don't know if DraftKings is on the board, guys, but we bought $34 off the sticky note, and it's right now new highs. Dollar Club member there for DraftKings. But Obi, what'd you do on Beyond Meat?
Yeah, so Beyond Meat, absolutely beautiful kind of setup here, multi-day, almost textbook here. Both, I would argue, both for the long, both for the kind of overnight long, and for the short coming into today. I mentioned this earlier. I kind of drew my arbitrary chart art here in the morning where I was like, yeah, this reversion here I think was definitely something to get involved with, and then pre-market action as well a little bit. But I think it really kind of comes in and solidifies the short and tells you that, yeah, no, maybe sellers are very much in charge when we do this little bit of a shimmy dance with that $7.35 pre-market highs, some of these consolidation highs as well. We basically wick through that 750 and then right back down through, breaking this clean uptrend, and then again, giving you a little bit of confirmation and follow through back through VWAP, back through some anchorage as well. And yeah, I missed out on this dump for sure, because I got short in here because I was like, I'm a little late to this, wasn't really paying attention in and around here. But coming into about 11:15, 11:20, I was like, yeah, okay, I do want to get short, get stopped out, and it just goes all the way down to $2.62. You can see that candle right there is the largest volume candle on the day. And I'm curious to know, is it the largest volume candle since this run up from Monday? Absolutely. So the largest candle as of right now at the low of day, and we're trending a little bit higher here. So I did take a little bit of a cheeky short just now on this lower high, but I think the likelihood of getting stopped out after you see that kind of a candle just goes higher and higher as we build structure back up. So maybe some signs of a reversion of the reversion is what I'm looking at here. So beautiful multi-day trend, hundreds of %, and a nice breather on the day today. Pretty much textbook short, I would say. Had to wait a little bit, but I even said this. I was like, it might not give it to us right off of the open. I had the short off of the open. That was beautiful. It gave you $1 instantly.
Yep.
But that's not what the trade we're looking for, right? We're looking for this to fall apart. And fall apart, it definitely did, from $7 all the way down to $2.60s.
Trying to go now. There's a big seller here on the offer of over 400,000 shares. Oh wow, we already did it, man. 1.7 billion already there. And you know another name that had fallen down. We don't have it on the. Oh, we do have it on the. I do have it. OpenDoor, breaking through $7, but we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. Only down 5% though. OpenDoor. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
All right, guys, the much anticipated Tesla earnings report coming after the bell. I had to read this twice. Tesla analyst says Elon Musk will be heavy on optimism and light on truth. Well, I think we know that with Elon, he tends to be that way. That's nothing new. But the Tesla analyst by GLJ research analyst Gordon Johnson maintained a sell rating on Tesla with a $19.05 price target ahead of the earnings. Is that right? Crazy stuff, guys. I don't think this guy is going to be correct whatsoever. Much forward-looking with Tesla in regards to robotics and obviously autonomy. We want to hear a lot about that, and maybe even some cheaper models, the Model 2 that we never got. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I think Tesla's definitely an interesting one, man. I think we talked about that 441. Just simply put, that was kind of the range high for the past week or so, and then finally lifted coming into this week. We started ranging above that 441 here on Monday. Nice little 442 hold, double bottom, and then consolidation. We couldn't quite hold back into the range is what I'm seeing today. So 429s are the day low. And we talked about the bigger picture range low as well here, being in and around that $40.20. Nice, $420. Nice. On the chart, I can't speak prices right now. So this range low is what I'm talking about here. Multiple tests of this support brings in buyers. One violation of it all the way down to 400 brings in buyers the next day as well. This was probably a very interesting night in Blue Ocean as well. I think I actually remember, yeah, coming into the week, it was pretty solid on Tesla, the end of night reversion. But buyers have definitely been holding up this 420 area pretty well. And the fact that we're back into this range maybe tells me that we might be poised for a bit of a test, especially if the market stays this heavy the way it is, right, Sean?
Yeah, no, I think it's not a great moment, obviously, to be releasing your earnings, but the market can be a fickle one and change on a dime, right? And so I think if Tesla, I'm still excited for it. I think it's going to be some good talk here today. And like I said, we wait to hear more information from Elon Musk about all of those ideas that you just mentioned there. We're looking for robo-taxi talk, and we're just looking for more. You know, it being down 2% today, I don't think that really means much. We're really gathering now, right? And so it's insane for Obi and I to like make a prediction on what we think it's going to be. I mean, I have Oracle. We could have not predicted that number. It went up 40%. Like, what if they sold way more than we thought? You know, what if that robo-taxi gets moved up to, he throws out a crazy date of December 1st or something like, it won't be that soon, but something like that, then I think this stock can really motor. So I would just say sit on your hands for now. It could be a good trade. I mean, definitely if we break higher and the market goes, then I think Tesla gets going as well. I mean, you can see it's still following the market today. So I think for the afternoon right now, it might be a short in and around here because we're back finally to the 200 period moving average. It's just, do you believe the market's a short? And if you do, then I'd say go with it. But yeah, one of the first mega cap names here. And again, you know, it's going to be different than the AI trade, but this really is going to set the tone, I feel like, because we saw Netflix yesterday, and I called 11:15 yesterday on the after show. I called 11:15 today as potentially being a bottom. The day's bottom is 11:12.50. So Netflix, I mean, this is down 9% on a double miss. So if Tesla double misses, yeah, might not be great, let alone whatever the guide comes with. So, I mean, looking at a stock like Rivian, they're hitting the skids a little bit today as well. And then we had the combustible engine model with GM. I mean, obviously we can see that that's profitable. They make a lot more money on these cars. I mean, they don't even make money on EV cars. So we gotta, put that in perspective there. What are the margins gonna look like for Tesla? It's General Motors right now that's winning, and Ford. I mean, I never thought we would actually say that, but some of the, the legacy names continue to perform quite nice. And you might be having out on Ford actually right here around 1280, but yeah, that's Tesla. Okay, Donut, a popular stock for us here today. Should be a popular one move the rest of the day, maybe even tomorrow as we look for more squeeze names.
All right, guys, Dina, a lot going on with this name. I think the most popular one here is the entry and the addition into that meme ETF, MEME. Very interesting stuff. But if we want to get down to the fundamentals, guys, the global expansion here in Krispy Kreme is real. Looking to open up some stores in Brazil and Uzbekistan. Found that very interesting, but also striking a deal with Walmart. Guys, what do you think about Krispy Kreme?
Oh, Krispy Kreme struck a deal with Walmart? Oh, I didn't know that. What the hell are they going to do with Walmart? I don't know. Maybe there's, in some of our Walmarts now we have McDonald's and whatnot in Walmarts, or Tim Hortons in Walmarts. Maybe a Krispy Kreme in a Walmart, maybe? I don't know. Or they just deliver them all and then you get I don't think it's a good idea to sell the product at Walmart, because Walmart's probably going to be cheaper than what you're selling it for in your store, but I don't know. Anyways, we just waited for it. And I think when Obi had told me something about Beyond Meat was halting up or something like that at this time in and around, I guess it wouldn't have been this early, but it fell into our pre-market kind of levels, and we just bought, right? We wrote down here on the sticky note that we wanted to buy $4. So once it made this strong move, we didn't have our full position or anything on there, but we did have one unit. So it falls into our lap, and then boom, goes a dynamite to the upside. We make a cup of coffee on this one and a couple dozen donuts, which we'll just donate because we're not eating donuts. Thank you to Mark, who brought in a whole bunch of donuts and a whole bunch of cookies today as well. And happy birthday to Ramin. But yeah, nice move to the downside right now for DNUT. I still think there's more to this name, 28% or so short float. I still like it. I don't know if I like it the rest of the day here today. It's nice to see it hold 4. I'm going to pass on getting too aggressive with this moving forward.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was enticing, kind of off of the open. Coming into the open, I did have eyes on it. Another runner, and I think the short might have been the better idea here, because it's just like, all right, everyone's looking for that next BYND, and yeah, it has some solid push. It does try. It gives you the effort. It kind of comes in and clips that $5 mark. We kind of talk about that $5 mark being an interesting area in stocks, and it just shows us that, yeah, since that price action happened, yeah, we might have some sellers and break down the move back into some prior levels. You can see it comes right into the after hours supports in and around that $4 level, and we're kind of consolidating in and around that area as of right now. So little, I mean, it wasn't as crispy as I thought off of the open. That's why I didn't really indulge.
I gotta go get a coffee. All right, what's up, Joe?
Guys, Google, a lot going on, some quantum news there, some breakthrough on the algorithm, but something that I found extremely interesting, and for those who are familiar with the individual and the analyst, CNBC contributor, Steve Weiss, has now announced that he has trimmed his Google Alphabet Class A position, which I find extremely interesting. Would you want to buy it down here, or would you want to trim it? Let me know, guys.
Which stock? Google? Okay, yeah. So I actually said to Neil yesterday, you want to take this first?
No, go for it.
I was going to say, I said to Neil yesterday, we were sitting here and we saw, so today has been, I mean, yeah, Google was chef's kiss for a while at 253, but it lost it. So the question to buy or to not buy, yesterday I said to Neil on this move down there when we got that OpenAI sort of like, wow, they're doing a browser. Like, I feel like that was something that we already thought about right there. And I think that was a buy opportunity down there at around 244. I think we were right. It did bounce back up. But I think if you're going to buy any Mag 7 names ahead of earnings, I think it's just swing trades. And I think you're just trying to position yourself for the next day or two. And right now, I don't want to go long on any of these names. I'm forever long. I'm not selling any of my positions in Google or Amazon or Microsoft or any of the big names that are coming to report in the next couple of weeks. I just want to buy dips. So this one is not early enough for me to like take a core position, but if in the next couple of days we can get back into 245, 246, I think we take that long, and then we wait for their report, and Adara's doing all this work. She's putting together all the earnings reports, and I just don't know what day it is. October the 29th, so a week today, you're getting Google and Alphabet earnings. So I think if we get an opportunity to buy somewhere around here, either tomorrow, what day is tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, buy down here and then get a bump up in the market. We do know that there's legs to this name. So I think Google's one of the strongest Mag 7 names right now, hovering near the top. I mean, even Apple's going for a little bit of a slide, but you're at all-time highs right now, and I feel like there's, VIX volatility right now is growing. So for me, it's a stay away long-term dip buy if earnings are a problem. But until we get to that 245 or 246, I think that's a swing trade level. I don't want to like put any real money into this name yet on any of these dips. I think it's still early days, and if the market's going to crank lower, buying now is going to be a huge mistake. I mean, we've already seen the reaction to, look at AMD. We sold AMD on Thursday too. That's down 5% on no news. Like it's just on market weakness. So when the market goes up, we can all celebrate and it's easy day. But when the market goes down is when you really start to need to think about what we're doing. I still like Google. I think it's one of the ones with the biggest moat around it. I want to buy Google on any weakness.
Yeah, I think it's important to. Funny you say that. Like, everyone's a genius in a bull market, right? Exactly. We've heard that before. Like, people make calls in bull markets and they're like, oh my God, it worked. So therefore, I must be right. It's all great, but yeah, I think that you asked some solid questions there. Are these the pullbacks we're looking for? Are these the stocks that we're looking for, right? So just going to the higher time frame, let's take a look at what Google's been up to on, say, like a weekly or a monthly, and then I think that can give us a better idea, because as the market changes, as the regimes change, as interest rate kind of environments change, the stock kind of has a little bit of noise along the way, right? So looking at a weekly can kind of basically cancel out a lot of, or smooth out a lot of that noise. Not really cancel out, smooth out a lot of that noise here, especially on stocks that are in a much bigger, higher time frame trend, which could outweigh a lot of those shorter term kind of things. So in terms of that, I think Google is consolidating at its highs. We finally got to 250, and this little tight consolidation, I see this, like if I say this often, right? I'm just like, if I were to take off the x-axis and the y-axis here, what does this look like? Say this was an open session right now. This looks like it's consolidating at high a day, right? It's consolidating at high a day. So the question becomes, does this action mean that we're poised for a little bit higher? How's it changing probabilities? I think that's all good questions to ask. You can see that when the trend does break, we do go on a little bit of a breather. That happened here at the beginning of the year. That 17% pullback roughly that we had on the markets. Google pulled back about 30% from off of its highs there, and then we reclaimed a decent chunk. So I think, yeah, even if we do pull back more than healthy, do we wait for further pullbacks? I'd like it if it had an aggressive pullback. Like it has had, again, in July of last year, and then the first few months of this year as well. On the downtrend breaks of those, I think I could be looking at this. But intraday, it's been absolutely solid as it attempts to push fresh highs. I think that's something big as well. But in terms of like buying for the long term, I think just looking at the weekly, it just shows up that some of the best times to buy are after multiple red weeks of selling, and maybe through breakout through prior structures as well. You can see the breakouts have been nice on the weekly as well. So that's kind of my look on Google. I think we're poised for much higher. You've asked me, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, if I was to pick any stock, Google right away, right? So I think it might have been you. I don't remember who asked me, but I was like, yeah, definitely Google, because of how strong of a company they are, and they've got their hands and feet in pretty much everything. But we'll get
to some more names. People are dropping some names in the chat. We'll get to it. I see MP Metals right here on my screen down 7% right here today. We will go over the quantum names, and we'll go over the uranium plays and things like that. So for now, let's just go back over to Joe.
Yeah, it's Joseph sitting here, Katina man. All right, guys, last and very least, bang, exactly. OpenDoor, down 38% off of those highs. Meme stock or legit? What do you guys think?
So I'm currently messaging Adara as we speak. So I had like Adara on my mind, and then I was like, we'll throw it back over to, no, it's Joe. So shout out to Joe. Thank you for filling in today for Sharif. Sharif's gonna stay late and do the closing show. Because Wednesday it's Neil and I normally rotate it out, but I'm unable to stay tonight, and Neil's obviously off. So Sharif will be doing that, and it's Tesla. So it's a big one. Tesla and IBM tonight, and the earnings, we'll go over those in a couple minutes. QuantumScape as well, QS there tonight. So lots of exciting plays happening right in front of us. I really like IBM. I think IBM, what else is? Oh yeah, you. Yeah, it's a good name too. Well, are they reporting tonight, Joe? I don't know, but we'll look at that. But there's OpenDoor. So look, we've talked about it for a minute. Like this is the key level. This is what you want to see on OpenDoor if you're looking to get long and you maybe missed it. I think that this fall back in right here. We're down now 50% from its highs, right? 650 to 11 now. We're down about 40% from its highs. That seems to make decent sense to me. I mean, the pullback's always going to happen in these names. I mean, we ripped up here and pulled back to the 50-period moving average. We really didn't get too many opportunities to buy any of these dips, except for right into there, and then we ripped back up. So now we're just experiencing, obviously, a downward draft, as all the names that are having big-time movements over the last, you just mentioned some of the metal stocks. Yeah. All these names that have been having movements over the last couple of days and weeks are now giving back. So OpenDoor's turn is now. If you like the business, I think it's at the 50-period moving average. It's worth doing something here with OpenDoor. Their last earnings report, though, you could close the door on it because it was not very well received. Oops, that's OPETX, open text there, I believe. Still a 23% short float there, but if we go over and we check out their calendar right now, you're going to see that their earnings is always a little bit later. We do have it right now confirmed. Oh, it says, yeah, there it is right there. So, oh, not too bad, actually. November the 6th, it'll be coming after market. But you see all these are all negative earnings, right? -1 cent, -9, -11, -10. So only a -1 adjusted last time. We'll see if they can turn it around and become profitable. And if they can, then we can see this. We're also looking for year-over-year revenue growth, right? Make sure the model's working as interest rates come down. And I don't think OpenDoor is necessarily the name you want to run to because the rates are lower, but should help. We'll see if they've gotten a little bit more traction there and if the business is still viable other than a short squeeze. So 23% short. We'll get it figured out with OpenDoor earnings coming on November 6th. You got 2 or 3 weeks before that happens. But right now, I think if you go long, use today's bottom as your out. Yeah. Right? Like we really cracked lower today in many names. So if we want to go lower tomorrow, use this as your out. You know, you could take 30 cents worth of risk to potentially see if the squeeze is back on tomorrow. Might be worth it. I don't know, not financial advice, just saying if you have an out, you have an out. And I think you want to take all your trades with outs in mind. So.
Yeah, definitely. At the end of the day, risk management is absolutely key, right? Our first and foremost, and pretty much only real job is to manage risk, right? So I think that's important to keep in mind here. But yeah, strong continuation from yesterday. So I just want to see how much relative volume we were doing yesterday. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy in terms of relative volume. But in the pre-market, that did start to ramp up. And oh, look at that pre-market low breakdown through 670s. Right, nice little flush coming in right off of the open there, and then consolidating. Pretty much that's all the selling that seemed like it was going to have off of the open, and then a little bit more down in the 620s. A little bit of a sideways action since then. Now I know open was very very well known just a few weeks ago. So I want to see how that's looking on the weekly. I hope that nobody's really, wow, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Back-to-back red weeks that break down, and yeah, you get a little bit of a shake-up action here as we do attempt to look like we're breaking the downtrend with the push back up, but sellers step right back in. So this was a bit of a multi-day move. Some would even say a multi-month move because we started in July, finished up all the way in September, and yeah, from sub-dollar levels all the way up to $10.87. So absolute crazy runner. Does it make sense that it's taking a little bit of a breather? I think absolutely. The fact that it ran up almost 1,800% in 3 months, you can't buy the top and be like, oh my God, why is OpenDoor going down? It doesn't make any sense. You have to understand where it came from and where it can potentially go. Even a 50% reversion would pull us back down to $5, right? So intraday trading, a little bit of overnight swinging. I think both ways have been absolutely solid on this one. Just got to be patient and make sure you're on the right side of the move there. Seems like those back-to-back red weeks have been coming in absolutely nicely. So I know a lot of people, maybe not a lot of people, but a lot of people on some other swing shorts, but some people on the open swing short as well. So that's been working out pretty well. $10 failure to follow through, right? That was a bit of a concern, I think.
We said that we would look to see what the audience wants or what our viewers want now. So I'm actually just going to reset this. We haven't reset it all day. So Beyond Meat is really dominating right now. I'm going to hit a fresh start. You got to get into the chat. You got to type exactly this. $, whatever symbol you want, will start to populate here, and then we can go. And if you are looking right now and you're like, man, I forgot to subscribe, make sure you do subscribe right there, man. 78% subscribe, 21.5% of you that are watching. Again, the exact same number despite a completely different show. So I still don't know how often that's being updated, but get your votes in right now. We'll start to talk about it. It looks like Tesla is going to be one of the #1 names there. APLD there as well. AMD. HIMS with, I mean, these are all big moves today, man. 4%, Robinhood 6%. Wow, this YY. Yeah, look, I mean, I'll keep this board up, obviously, since that's not going anywhere. So we'll just keep that up there. We'll have a check in a minute. But this YYAI stock, what is this, 1 billion shares as well? This is 2 billion shares already. Man, I got to invest in the Nasdaq, symbol NDAQ. I mean, the volume that are going through on some of these names there today, like the fees that are being collected by somebody here is somebody going to make out to very nice right there. But yeah, 2 billion shares here, 2 billion shares on Beyond Meat today. I don't really know what the story is with this name. YYAI again. This is, Airwa. Oh, actually, I think we did have this on our watch list potentially here today? So.
We did not, and there's no news. And I can confirm it was not on the watch list because there were just so many other stories.
All right, so where is the fail button? There it is right there. So no, not on the watch, failed by me for request or for mentioning it was potentially on the watch list. But yeah, no news here today. I don't know if you guys know anything about this name, but whoops, all the way to the downside there. Whoop. This might be a Chinese name. I don't know. There's the reverse split. It looks like this.
YYAI? Probably.
Yeah,
I'd put money on it.
I'd
put money on it.
AIRWA Inc. AIRWA Inc. There's the split. There's the move down. And yeah, I mean, this was $3 not too long ago, down to 16, 17 cents. Yikes. This is what you call like holding the bag. You know, you just hope you don't come in one day and suffer some of these, not holding the bag today if you bought yesterday, but definitely a bag holder stock right there. YYA.
Close. So close.
Philippines?
It operates through the following geographical segments: Hong Kong, United States of America,
Hong Kong's close
and the
enough.
United Kingdom.
Okay. But where is the company based?
Founded by Joe Kalfa in 2015 and is headquartered in Simra DE, where Denmark?
Germany?
Huh? DE is Denmark, right?
I guess so. The code for the stock DE is the Deutsch, the Germany, but probably Denmark, yeah, for country code. Or Delaware.
Maybe? Let me just look.
Delaware.
Delaware? Okay, Delaware. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, people in the chat got that. Yeah, Delaware has the better. That's where Elon, you know, the corporate structure.
It is in the States.
Yeah, a lot of companies out of Delaware.
All right, I was wrong.
I was wrong too, man. I thought that was a Chinese name. All right, what's up, Adara?
Well, fun fact also, Elon Musk is actually trying to kind of start a max exodus out of Delaware because he doesn't like how the Chancery Court handled his pay package situation. So that is a fun, or I guess not fun, Delaware fact. But I do want to mention as well here, this is our implied earnings move docket for tonight and tomorrow morning. So here's the implied moves and the ETA of release for some of the biggest names reporting tonight and then tomorrow before the bell. Now, these implied moves do change, so I just updated them as of probably 10 minutes ago. At least the afternoon ones should be pretty close to accurate. The morning ones are likely to fluctuate a bit more. But yeah, keep an eye here on this at X at TTV Research. There will be more earnings preview infographics to come in the next hour or so. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, yeah, we'll be dropping those. We do have, you can go on and find them all. I also have them. It's at TraderTV.live or at TraderTV Sean. I just post what Adair gives me here. SAP, Kinder Morgan tonight. Lamb Research. Okay, there's a couple names, man, that are interesting here. Las Vegas Sands again. We'll go check out what's going on in Macau and whatnot over there. So China, again, another China play there, possibly with LVS and IBM. We really like IBM. Any more downside plays in IBM, and I want to be a buyer over there. 287 still seems too high for me. IBM, there's a name, up 2%. How did we miss that? How is that not on my list? All right, AA, that's Alcoa. For the metals, we talked about how the metals were starting to hit the skids a little bit there in some of those rare earth metal names. Alcoa, of course, much more traditional metal miner there. Are there a miner, Alcoa, steel? But nice move to the upside there, 40 down to $36 there. And then, of course, the two near the end. Tesla, does Tesla normally come out like 420-ish or something?
Yeah, so I put 415 on there. I think that's pretty close to when it usually comes. Like, it's not like Nvidia, which is every single time on the dot at 420, but it's also not a Meta, which will report anywhere from 4 p.m. to 4:45. So Tesla is usually pretty stable around the midway point.
Yeah, I remember when you and Neil, thanks Adara, Neil and yourself had the long aftermarket show that one time when Meta didn't decide to do it until just after 4:30. So I don't think Elon will play with his food. You know, I think he'll put it out there and then, you know, eat the crow if it's a bad number, or tout it if it's a good one. So we'll wait to see on that one. And then also, I did want to talk about sort of the rally back in gold a little bit here today as well. Good opportunities to sort of buy some more dips in gold, but for me, I bought yesterday, and I'm going to wait to see if this settles down. Nice move to the downside, and also crypto with IBIT, digital gold also sort of suffering a bit here today. Down 4%. So there's an opportunity to pick up some more Bitcoin there as well. Are you buying more crypto on this, or just kind of sitting on what you have?
I mean, I'm sitting on what I have. I kind of...
Standing on business?
Excuse me. Yeah, no, I was just like, I need more of a dip. for sure. But I'm not looking at necessarily price. I think for
Right,
Bitcoin,
you're about the action?
I'm more about the action. Like, give me a 50% to 70% drop.
That's kind of regarding price, no?
No, of course. But whether we're at 70,000 or 100,000 or 150,000,
Oh, I see.
care,
So you're not pulling the
right?
trigger on the buy until
I don't
you
care
see.
about the price. It's just
Got
like
it.
give me the right kind of price action so that it tells me that okay, yeah, buying might actually be or we're shifting hands from sellers to buyers. That's kind of
got
what
it. Okay.
So kind of relating it back to the limited experience I've had so far on the trading floor is just still I would say relatively early years of my trading compared to you guys as well. But something that I'm noticing is just keeping it very simple. Like I want to buy with the buyers and sell with the sellers. I know it sounds very cliche and very simple, easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah, it's one of those.
But here's the thing: when you're sitting here, you're watching every day. You're just like, I see some selling, I see some buying, I see sellers holding in charge, I see buyers holding in charge, and it's like observing those things and then just being like, all right, cool. Like I want to participate with them. Guys like Iceman saying 70% off drop BTC. I want to buy 30 as well. Yeah, exactly. Like 50 to 70%. It's just an arbitrary. I think a significant pullback, something that reverts decently, balances to some sort of a mean. It gives us a nice reversion to the mean, and I see that happen. And I'm probably like, oh, damn, that was an amazing short on Bitcoin, and it reverted to the mean. Now I want to revert the reversion and maybe get involved there as well. So that's kind of the mindset I'm going with. Yeah, exactly. Rusty Dutch saying, elite trading edge, buy low, sell high. Here, let me give you another one. Have you tried buying high and selling higher? Because that could work as well. Or you could do something like selling high, like I did on BYND, and buying lower, like it's going right now at 350s and cracking even more. So I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. That's what I'm saying. I want to sell with the sellers.
BYND is at $3.50. Is that what you just said?
So, 350, yeah. So okay, people are talking more about this. Reversions or counter trend, question mark, no. I think I have the same issue. Yes and no. Reversions are technically counter trend, but the counter trend trade is still part of the trend trade. It's just a fractal of that, right? Something's not going to trend exactly up, right? I'm still taking how something trends by taking the counter. I just have to know that I'm not looking for a full-on reversal, right? That's the thing. I think counter trend is still part of trend trading. It's in the name. So I think that perspective is everything. I say this at the same time. Like you see this happen in like schools and universities. Everybody has the same textbook. Everybody has the same classes. Everybody has the same material, but we all interpret it differently. And I think that's a good lesson to learn as well. So sometimes I see things much differently. Sometimes I see things the same way. I don't really know what the right way is, but I think that just perspective definitely matters. I think. Is the key that I'm talking about here. So 350s coming in. I don't know. That was a nice little flush. Somebody hit the bid pretty aggressively. No idea if we're going to make a higher low and continue higher, or do we kind of pull back into some of these levels where we did halt down. 330s I'm watching, and then 310s-ish area, and then the day low as well. That's coming in at 262. So we're still $1 away from that. Yeah, exactly. I was definitely not an accounting major for sure. Didn't go to school for business or finance. Because, you learn to realize when you come into the markets that none of that actually matters if you want to make money, right? So anyways.
You said that story about OpenAI hiring all those quants or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. So it's a lot of it now is going to be coding, is going to be science based, even for traders, right? But if you are a sophisticated trader here, located in this lovely country of Canada or anywhere, you might want to look in Beta Pro by Global X, because they are the largest provider of levered, inverse, and inverse levered ETFs here in Canada. They have just launched 6 new triple levered, so similarly to a TQQ kind of thing that we trade here on the shore, SQQ or SOXL. They're offering special fee rebates right now as well until the end of the year. It's just 65 basis points until December 31st. These are US focused strategies that use currency hedging. So they do offer you a potential for more pure performance and exposure. I mean, it's something that I'm always fighting with here, looking to make sure that if I'm invested in something in Canadian, that's why I invest with the CDRs, right? Like, here's an example right here. If you are a Canadian trader, look at this, Meta.cc, this is on CBOE Canada, it's only $39, but it will monitor and match the price, taking in consideration the currency, and they hedge you out of it every day, the movement in Meta. So there's Meta right now in Canada, so you can use Canadian dollars to purchase Meta shares, and then you see Meta right now is, I just typed in Meat, I still typed in Meat. Meta right there is down 78. Let's see what it's down here in the Nasdaq. It should be something very, very similar, and it is exactly, so it's 0.62. So you'll lose a little bit intraday, but as I said, they'll balance that out, and you get that currency hedge. So the difference might be 0.1 today in the Nasdaq, in the US dollar versus Canadian dollars. So I hold a lot of my holdings are in these CDRs so that I don't have to play that currency hedge, because the last thing you want to do is the US dollar gains 10% on the CAD. Yeah. Meanwhile, or the other way around, let's just say the CAD gains on the US dollar, then your Meta holdings that are in US dollars would be worth more in Canada, because the Canadian dollar has appreciated. So when I sell my $1,000 US worth of Meta, it's worth now 1,500 Canadian or something. But if the Canadian dollar goes down against the US dollar, then I'm losing money, I'm losing that $1,000. Right. So it makes a big difference there to be levered, so into that one. But okay, let's try to find some more trades. Do you have anything on your mind? I'm gonna go grab a coffee. You need a tea or anything?
No, I'm okay, thank you. Okay. I'm just watching this BYND. So we did dropped all the way down to 3/2. And then rips right back up. So I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe that was just something that got balanced pretty quickly. So I'm watching that as of right now, back into 380s. But let's see, let's observe. Does it make a lower high? We were kind of stepping down 420s, down into 4 and some change, and then maybe back below this 380. This was a bit of a level here as well. So let's see if we step down, or we could kind of just chop sideways, push us all the way back in. I don't really know what's going to happen, but I like the idea, right? Let's see what it does in this sideways chop. I'm looking for the next potential trade as well. Let's take a quick look and scan through some of these large caps here. So this is kind of what I'm looking at when I say I'm looking at some of my large cap baskets here. So you can see that Spider, Qs, Nvidia, Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, and Amazon gives me a good display of the Mag 7. Sure, I'm missing the only one out of the Mag 7 I'm missing here is Meta. Meta I don't really trade as often, but sometimes I'll pull it up every now and then and kind of watch. Tesla coming back into VWAP. That's how I'm able to see a lot of these things happen pretty fast, right? So I think that's important to kind of do, especially when you're looking for something that's distinctly different, right? If you're looking at all the Mag 7s and you're just like, there's nothing here, it's just they're all following the beta, but maybe you find one of the names that doesn't look like the other. Maybe there's a decorrelation, there's a difference, there's a disconnect. Something is distinctly different, and I definitely like to look for those opportunities as well when it comes to sectors, right? But yeah, we'll look through some more stocks right after we get back from Adara.
You guys, I did mention earlier that we were going to be getting some more earnings infographics on TTV Research, and I deliver. Here is IBM. Their earnings are in roughly 1 hour. They're going to be at 4:10 p.m. Eastern. You've got the CEO, Arvind Krishna, and you have the revenue estimate, EPS estimate, and a lot of details about last quarter's report. Check this out on X at TTV Research. Again, I already have a Tesla infographic too, and if you stay tuned, probably about 2 hours after the close, there will be an Intel infographic ahead of tomorrow's report. That'll be dropping as well. Back to you.
All right, so yes, something to look forward to. Intel, that's a good reminder of Intel. Intel was something I was watching a little bit earlier. Again, sold off pretty aggressively relative to the rest of the chip sector here. So let's see what that one's up to. Okay, we got down to 36.07s. Funny enough, Intel gives us a bit of that 36 test at the lows, testing it a couple of times before coming right back up. Can it get to VWAP, though? That's the question. I was looking at it as a potential reversion candidate, but didn't really come into fruition. It's kind of moving a little slower than I'm really looking for, and the market is down as well. The market is down very aggressively. There's no real kind of bounce happening there. And if I were to take a bounce on the market, I think that Intel is probably not necessarily the best kind of vehicle. Maybe Qs or even something like an Apple or Nvidia. You see Nvidia is curling up as well. Yeah, there's a bit of a curl happening. Nvidia is moving up a little bit nicer than the rest, breaking that downtrend as well. VWAP's all the way at 179.60, so that's about $1 away as well.
I'm gonna take a 103.50 break.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we break, yeah. So, anyways, what Obi was talking about here, I'm gonna try to join the party a little bit. I just got back, got a coffee, so cheers everybody out there if you've got one with you. This is a 200 period moving average. We hadn't seen it since we were short. Man, you kill me there. Now that could have been almost a week's worth of money there. But yeah, what about if we finally take it and break it, right? I think it's worth looking at right there, 103.50. So actually it's at 103.55. So I have the long breaking through 103.50, 103.61. It could break and fake. The thing is, if we break and fake, then we're going to get out if it falls too much back in, maybe even breaking through 103. So I think there's a 50 cents worth of trade to get us back to VWAP. And hey, if this market wants to get bought up here into the close, then we're there for it. So I do have that order. So heads up. It reminds me of like that Google trade that we put on that as it was down here, I said, I'm not doing anything, man, until it breaks back above 253 again. So it did break back above 253, and that's when it was hammer time. And we nailed that one. So I'm giving a little bit of warning now that this is what I'm going to do. You might not want to do it. It might be a short. I mean, the market's down pretty bad right now, down 1.38%. This could be a short rate there, breaking through there. But if we're going to go long, let's go over to our friend Palantir, because we do know Palantir has some get up in it. That's for sure when it wants to go. And ooh, see, oh man, this was good. You might have got faked out there, but I'm not sure that's where the 200 period was at that time. But there was the break. So it didn't break it, but once it does, man, right there at let's just say it was 171.80, you're now 174, and you're at VWAP right now. This might actually be, I like the futures because I'm not worried about single stock, but Palantir here is also something at VWAP. But when a stock gets to VWAP and it's down 4% and the day is red, it's almost a short for me rather than the other way around. These breaks down here are the longs. The VWAP is not a trend change thing or anything like that. It's an over-under. So you get to figure out if this buyers or sellers are going to win today. If it can break above, then anybody that bought, obviously down here, is laughing because you're going to close the day above VWAP, right? And you can use that then as your support and resistance. I mean, anyone who's shorted at the end of it all is really the ones getting it. But if you can break above VWAP, that's a good sign. This is almost a short there. I like the market for get up into the close because to reporting tonight are big names. And I mean, I think there goes Tesla again. Like there's the break right there. This is the break of, what was it, 230? So we're doing the run, 220, we're doing the rundown, but that's the level there. So let's see if the futures can do something similar to that. And why I say favor the long right now into the close, potentially, at least until we get to VWAP, which is all the way up here, 25,000 again. You have that 25,000 marker on the Nasdaq. We're approaching that. You could short it into that, fine, but then you're kind of stuck in the middle, and then you have a decision to make. Or you say, hey, maybe strong names like IBM will surprise. Right, up 2% today. Maybe Tesla will put in a good quarter today as well. Maybe QuantumScape, that I think is down today, but they're going to report after hours. Maybe there's some movement there. They're not going to affect the market, obviously, but this is a big report today, down 13%. And I'm struggling to think about who else is reporting. KMI, LVS. You know, we haven't looked at the casinos in a while, so this could be a play today that I like. I prefer Wynn in the space, but look at LVS, right? Up here, heading into earnings. So there is some potential here for the Nasdaq to get going. Let's just check back on it. How close are we to getting into these? Oh, we are very close right now, Obi, to getting punched into this trade. A trigger above 60, and I'm in right now on the TQQs, using probably the 21 period moving average, which is down here at 21s. That'll probably be our out, so that's 30 cents worth of risk there. Or if you want to give it a bigger sort of area down to 103. There we go. We are now in. It's a new position. It's the futures. Let's just see if it goes. We do have our stop, so we're getting ready to see if that can trigger. 103.20 is initially going to be my stop, so we'll see if we're not going to give anything back. Well, we'll give something back, but it will be minuscule on this. Let's see if it wants to work. There we go. We're in the money now just a little bit, but this trade is still early. Over to Adara. Or OB or somebody.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was over to Adara. Okay.
No, I'm just I'm watching this curl here on the market, watching how Apple's behaving here. Yeah, Nvidia curl back up to VWAP. That's coming in nice. Tesla as well. But there are some stocks that really haven't done that yet, and that's Amazon, a little bit of Alphabet as well. Alphabet's a little bit closer than the rest, but I'm really watching this 257 here on Apple as it catches a little bit of a curl. So this is what I'm looking at here. So 15-minute chart, pretty aggressive downtrend all the way from the highs to the day low. We were down about 2.85% from there. So the question becomes, can we actually break this trend here and get a little aggressive? It's kind of been being almost held down relative to some of these other names. For example, like I give the example of Nvidia, Tesla, and even Google now catching a little bit more of a curl. But the question becomes, if sellers step back in, which they are as I'm talking, do we make a lower high, or do we actually push through this 257? I've been watching this 257 a little close here. You can see for the past hour or so, can't really get through. These are 50-minute candles, so almost for the past hour, can't really get through. What's going on?
I got to connect my. I have the earpiece set up, don't I, or not? Can you test, Andre? I don't know. No, I don't have it. Okay, I got to reset my earpiece. I don't know. The market just tanked there, so it just came out for us, like almost immediately there. I can see. Well, we gave back about 10% of what we made on the Qs there. I'm not laughing for any reason. I mean, I don't want to ever lose, but we just put the trade on, and then 2 minutes later we were out of it on what was like the most violent, basically there. I haven't seen, like, look at that wick. Bottom wicks all the way down to 11s there. That's why I was wondering if I missed something voice-wise here. So I'm going to disconnect and reconnect in here now. And obviously, Adara is going to get on the news, so it doesn't seem like there's anything going on.
I'm not seeing any news on it, but I just want to clarify that I'm not seeing any news on it.
Just the futures. That's it. Yeah, it's just the futures. I don't expect there to be any like wild movement here or anything like that. But here it's coming down in, so maybe it is a little weaker than I had thought there. So if we're going to bounce off of that right now, we might as well. We're back in this. Let's just use 103 there as our out now. I don't know. It's pretty jumpy right there, but that's okay. We should expect that with the futures, right? It's not an easy game, and sometimes you do get these bounces back and forth. So let's give it a little bit more room for some expansion here, because if we just get stopped out every time it does these wicks, we just would have got stopped out again. So we've got it right back on now, and let's see if we can get some movements. We'll take 10 cents. That's 48, so we'll take that, and then we'll see if it wants to get back to the upside there as we're back into that TQQ position. I have no idea what happened there, but I'm going to reset my ears so I can hear if there's a throw.
Good. Rookie trader in the chat saying bye-bye GLD. Okay, all right. Wow, okay, so what a bid on this one. This one's coming right back in. So you're asking, what can we look to get long? Maybe GLD here as it's ripping up through its day highs, back through 370, 375.80s here as of right now, 375.80s. That was in and around the prior day's low here at 375.68. For sure, so that's breaking out pretty nicely here after bottoming out at 368.90. So yeah, good call out on that one. That thing is attempting to push a little bit higher here as of right now. Took a little bit more of that BYND as we did come up into that $4 area and then pull back in. So just waiting and watching for that one. Do I expect and look for an end of day squeeze? I don't know. Is it Friday? Is it the end of the week? Are things expiring today? I don't know. But you said it's a Wednesday, right? Yeah.
It is a Wednesday. I keep on forgetting what day it is too, man.
You know, honestly, especially with this kind of market, I forget what day of the week it is, and I really don't like the weekends either. So,
you do like the weekend? You talked about that.
I like the weekend for sure. Yeah. Beautiful music. This man produces, but you know, the weekends, as fun as they are.
So you're not looking. Oh, you just got Beyond Meat on board, right?
Yeah, I only have some Beyond Meat, but I don't know. I haven't taken a big enough bite out of it just yet And I think the big bites were, like you said, in the morning, off of the open, maybe through that 7.
So you're saying the bite you took wasn't meaty in Beyond Meat?
There you go. Nice.
I'm still not hearing. I got to fix my.
Nice.
my ears are still not working. I miss that joke.
Definitely not meaty. The beats, the bites in the morning were not meaty at all. But 370 is coming in now on BYND. We dropped down to that 350. That's what I was watching earlier. So BYND, we'll just go to the
Someone
chart
in the
here,
chat.
take a look. What's up? What's up?
Someone in the chat said, like, Sean, you maybe stick to Palantir or AMD because you crushed those. Yeah, but right now, we said we wanted to be in the futures.
There you go.
And sometimes we got to stick to our guns. So, we got taken out there. There's no doubt about it. But now we are now this is 35 cents in the money, right? And we've still got on a big, now we are going. So here we go, man. We put this back on. I just didn't want to get stopped out again on Wix for no reason. That's why I asked, was there a news story? What was going on there? And here we go, man. Get some more outs in the mid 70s right there. This is a 33-cent trade. Our stop was going to be in and around here. So this is a good little pickup right there. We still have half left right now on the TQQs, but whoever said that is not wrong. I think AMD has been an absolute dream to trade over the last little while. We had 240, 250 or something short a couple of days ago, and look at the levels. This is why I love these levels in AMD. And I'm also going to love when we break those. Like when we come with a great story. Okay, now we're at 80s. Now we're in the money, 45 cents. I'm going to offer some of these out. But when this gets up to 243 again, and there's a news catalyst that's positive, I'm going to hammer this long once we break it, right? I mean, I'm excited for that. But for right now, no, it's at 230. You're not there yet for AMD. It needs to get going. We need to have better stories. Maybe something will come with earnings, but again, it's not going to be anything that Tesla says that's really going to rocket AMD, right? So Tesla, by the way, 437. This is on its horse right now. We said if the futures go, right? I mean, the reason why we chose long was because we thought Tesla had some get up to it. We thought IBM had some get up to it. We looked at LVS, that was going, and we would rather have been long than short. Is that wrong right now? I mean, the long is ripping and we got it. So now it's 50 cents in the money. So now we're almost at 2-to-1 for our risk to reward here on the TQs. And we've got this trade. I hope you have it with us. We put on 3 bangers yesterday in the afternoon. Can't recall what they were, but I think it was the futures and I think there was Google and Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat breaking $3 yesterday was a good trade. So we've got it going again here in the afternoon, man. We're feeling pretty good about it. And right now it's the futures, nice upside trade.
Yeah, a little bit of an upside trade there, but I did kind of, I'm watching this Apple, like I said, that 257 held pretty well, and we're kind of starting to break through it. So a little bit of a stab at a short here, just to kind of feel that out a bit. And we're pulling up into that 25,000, right? 25,000. I keep mentioning it on the Nasdaq. We're knocking on the door of that 25,000 once again. A lot of other stocks like Nvidia, even Tesla, have pretty much reclaimed or kind of pushed back into their VWAPs here. Amazon's trying as well, Alphabet as well, and I guess Apple as well. That's why I'm just trying to be, just gonna be as nimble as possible, just letting it kind of show me, taking a bit of a feeler here as of right now. But yeah, Nvidia, that reversion back to VWAP was absolutely solid. You can see here, kind of hold that 178, 178, 178, boom, breakout all the way back up into VWAP as of right now. So 179.60, only about 30 pennies away from there on Nvidia. So the reversion is definitely coming in pretty nicely here across the board. So it seems like this short is probably likely going to get stopped out as Apple travels a little bit further back towards VWAP. It seems like the bid is coming in here, Sean, into the market, and that 25,000, man, keeps on reverting. We reverted all the way back down into it, and then now we're reverting through it as well. So interesting stuff to say.
UAMY, United States Antimony. Right now, we had some antimony companies on earlier on in the year, and I think it might have been these guys. Did we have? I have to ask Brendan. We had an antimony company on, and if it was these guys, wow, to that one, man. 20 cents, $1, $1.30, $3, $4, $5, $21, $13 right now for UAMY. Nice little move there from 12 up to 13.50 as well. Yeah, we were sponsored at one point by one of these companies. So there's a nice little move. I'm going to get some more out on the TQs right here at 94. So we take that. Oops, my chart did not switch yet. There on the TQs, another out as we're trying to break through 104. I still think VWAP is possible. That's 105. So we'll wait out to see if that winds up hitting for sure on that one. But yeah, to your point, yesterday we had Oscar. This has been a big stock that's been kind of not memey, but we do know that this is, again, another unprofitable name that's trying to get going again. So here we go, Oscar, down 7%. Look, I mean, it was up 5 or 6% yesterday, and right, just giving it, I mean, look at this. One day Choi, one day pain. So not great there for Oscar today as we continue to go to the downside. Still watching out to see Bitcoin. Look, oh wow, oh my, Obi. We are really starting to do this right now, starting to stack up a little bit right here for the TQs. So we'll take that out at 07 there. And yeah, just glad that we got back in. You know, we got stopped out, but we always get asked questions like, or I at least think about this myself, I don't know if others do, but it's how can I get bigger, right? How can we get bigger in our trades? Because I always talk about share size, and I think that that's the most important. Like, if I only have 10 shares on right here, and this is ripping $1 in the money, what am I doing? Buying Obi and I a coffee? You know, what you got to do is you got to think about what trades are going to be trades that you've thought about and willing to put risk on. You know, this was one that I thought we had a chance to go, so we got stopped out. We bought it back because we didn't break the ultimate levels, but we wanted to have enough. We didn't want to hold this all the way down, but we did take a shot there. And then when we had these bottoming candles again, that gave us a little bit more oomph to the upside there because these moves got bought back up almost immediately. So, you know, trying to develop a plan, and that's why I like Joe's little, I don't know if it's an algo, but something that, you know, sparks out on trade ideas. It's more like a hot list kind of idea generator there. You know, once something is given, if you can hit on your signals and you can hit 60, 70% on your signals, that'll give you the wherewithal to start upping your size a little bit. Because if you know that, hey, I'm going to lose on 4 of these trades, but I'm also going to hopefully win on 6 of them, then that 20% there, if it's on 100 shares, again, thanks for the glizzy. But if it's on 10,000 shares, right, then you're starting to add to you know, becoming a successful trader in the long term and finding something that you can, you know, build on, you know, and get bigger and get better. But first comes the strategy.
Of course, yeah.
And then once you have that, and then comes confidence in that strategy, and then sort of having the cojones there to put on shares when you believe it's right. So
that's right.
That's the one thing I'm trying to work on.
Put it on the table, man. That's
exactly. Sometimes you got to whip it out.
But yeah, exactly. So
oh boy.
Beyond Meat coming back in, watching that. Apple as well stopped me out, but I got involved once again a little bit as the market takes a little bit of a pullback off of that 25,000. I mean, I guess that's kind of what I was looking for there. Sure, the long through 257 was nice. It gave you about 50 pennies, 50, 60 pennies right away. And we are kind of reverting back towards VWAP. But the fact that Nvidia, Tesla, and even the futures, you can see the SPY hit VWAP as well. I'm pretty sure the Qs did as well. I don't have the VWAP up.
No, that's what I'm on right now.
No, okay. Oh, all right. So TQs VWAP I have all the way at 105. So that still has a ways to go to come in to VWAP there. So yeah, Softy, Apple, Alphabet are the most lagging behind when it comes to those stocks that are furthest away from their VWAP. Amazon a little bit closer, not quite there yet. And yeah, I guess there's Meta as well. I know I mentioned Meta I don't really watch as closely, but you can see right there, boom, right up into VWAP. So a lot of VWAP tests happening across the board. The question becomes, are the rest of them just lagging behind? Is that 25,000 any sort of a key level on the day today? And are we going to see something happen in and around here? So this was a bit of that level from before, maybe some support, some intraday support. Does that become into intraday resistance? We already showed some strong selling through there, through the 25,000, but just being patient, just waiting for potentially the next trade to show up here. Yeah, Beyond Meat, let's see if it comes in, man. Going into the last hour, that's what I'm looking for. This could potentially have a crazy squeeze as well, maybe some profit taking from shorts at the end of the day, or maybe, just maybe, there are still longs that are still sitting on this, and maybe we see more profit taking from those longs as well. That's kind of what I'm looking for. But you know, if it doesn't come in, it doesn't come in. Where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for at the end of the day here. So it seems like Apple is trying to push a little bit higher. So it stopped me out twice. I'm like, all right, cool. You can do your own thing while I focus on other things as well.
What's up, Roll? I just saw Roland right in there. I was gonna stop it at the bottom of these wicks. If you're asking about, shout out to Roland in the chat there. Make sure you do subscribe and hit the like button, because right now we have 78.5% of you are subscribed. There it is, 78.5%. Regardless of the stream, Fabian, regardless of anything, it's 78.5%. I know, it's such a huge average. Yeah. So anyways, make sure you do subscribe. But yeah, thanks to that question there about Roland Joe. There it is right there. How do you determine and put your stop loss on the TQs? I mean, honestly, it was just down into here. We'd sort of talked about it, maybe using the 50-period moving average. But right now, I'm going to stop out again where we did this first time on this 21-period moving average. So now that I see this little bump up right now, I'm going to get out of another 5%. Punched out a little bit, punched out 5s there. We'll get out another bit, and we're still waiting at 11s, and then we're also waiting at the highs that we got already as 15s. So yeah, we'll punch out 50% of what we have left. So just so you know, I only have a third left of my trade. We just scalped it out on the way up, man. I mean, I don't, you know, I learned my lesson earlier on the TQs, honestly, and like, it continued to fall, you know, and the problem is like everything that I'm looking at, unless I'm using this 200-period moving average, which if I'm using that, then honestly, sometimes it's just so choppy. Like, it's really nice, you know, when it's working, but like, look at it in here. Like, I wouldn't have been able to really hold anything in here to the downside or anything, but if you go long again using this 200-period moving average, you're actually not out yesterday until almost near the top. And then worry about that fade. So I feel like today, if I used this as the short, I would have been starting to cover right there. But look at what it does instead. It gives me the opportunity to go upside right now. Oh, I don't know if this is from Adair or not, but there is some sort of Ukrainian news as well. We're going to go over this heat map when we get back. Is that a call for Adair? Okay, then I got it right this time. Let's go see what Adair is up to.
Yeah, the Ukrainian news is probably like 5-10 minutes ago, and it's kind of stuff we already knew. Basically, the Trump administration has lifted a key restriction on Ukraine's use of some long-range missiles provided by Western allies. Not the story I was going to mention, though. We're going to talk here about Nvidia, NVDA, S&P reiterating, or I guess revising here its Nvidia outlook to positive, citing strong AI momentum and sustained market leadership with their ratings affirmed. Not a huge mover here, but NVDA on watch here. S&P again revising their outlook on NVDA to positive. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, you're in a couple, I mean, you're in Apple as a new one that we haven't talked about.
Yeah, so Apple, I've been trying Apple a little bit there because, again, I really did like the long there, and we did revert. I kind of explained this just now, but we reverted back into that 25,000. So that's kind of where I'm looking for things to slow down. And when I did see things slow down a little bit, I got a little involved. So let's see how that comes into fruition here. BYND, another flush down with a little bit of a lower low relative to this wick action that happened all the way down into the 50s, but we're holding the 50s right now. So things can get a little bit choppy here as we go into the close. Now only about 42 minutes left until the closing bell rings. And this stock has been absolutely spicy on the day today. Yeah, both the long side, especially in the pre-market session and the after-hours swing as well. We talked about the high coming in at 886s, and I remember I drew that arbitrary chart art, and I was just like, yeah, this was the place, this is the downtrend. We basically lick the downtrend and then accelerate, almost extend aggressively back into some of prior day's levels right here. So prior day's low is sitting at $1.93. Today's low is sitting at $2.62 here on BYND. So it didn't quite make it to the prior day low just yet, but it's starting to unwind. Today's the first strong sell day that we've had over the past couple of days on Beyond Meat. And funny, I mentioned this in the morning as well. They literally had Instagram ads.
Right, you were saying that, yeah.
How crazy is that?
But that's like, just, it's not Beyond Meat putting the ads out there.
I'm sure it's not them. It's not Beyond Meat.
No.
Come on. No.
No, but I'm saying that seriously. It's not them doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely not them, right?
It's just somebody trying to get somebody to click it so they can get that follow so that when the market, when it does spike up, you know, they'll be able to claim some sort of victory there. Yeah, 81 cents in on DraftKings, and just so you guys know about DKNG, same type of talk, man. If we break this area, we're gonna get out 34.80, so I'm gonna put that stop in right now. 34.79. Breaker 19 on DraftKings, but before that happens, wow, the TQs are really starting to go. The DKNG trade, I'm going to offer right here at 94, see if we were able to get, okay, well, we just offered some out and we were able to get that there at 94 on the spike through there, a couple T's and P's going through there, so we'll get that fill right there on DraftKings, and then we'll watch out because there goes, you mentioned going back up into VWAPs. We have some more outs right now as we continue to go higher and higher to the upside. We can now adjust this. This is getting, we're at 75 as a stop. I'm comfortable leaving that in right now because, again, that'll be a big winner. And here we go. This is now in the money 80 cents, and we had our stop of 30 cents. So another 3-to-1 trade right there on the market. So that's a good one. 3-to-1 on the futures trading. I mean, I'm just trading futures, right? I mean, I know it's not exactly the futures, and we always get in trouble. We don't get in trouble, but people are always telling me not to call them the futures because it's not. It's a product of that, and it's inverse levered product. So that's the thing. Okay, I mean, Apple down 2%. You already just covered that a little bit. You're short Apple right now. Amazon still down. The pure play retailers today are actually up. So that's nice. You know what I wanted to check out actually as well? So the market right now down, right? I mean, the ES right now, the Nasdaq down 1.1, but that's climbing, and that's real nice. ES down 0.6. Might have had an opportunity to buy the Nasdaq today down 1.5. That would have been good. But I did want to check Fed tool. Right now, this is the Fed rate tool to see, you know, what the what the odds are for the next Fed rate cut. And Obi,
yes, sir.
There is absolutely no surprise whatsoever in what to expect right now for the. So I've talked to Jerome about this.
Yes.
He doesn't mind this tool, but he thinks it discredits them a little bit. Because if the whole market already knows, 99% knows that they're cutting 50 basis or 25 basis points, then it's a little bit less dramatic when he does finally announce that, or when the Fed finally announces it. But it looks like right now for October October the 29th, right now, there's a small % chance that there's no cut. But then for December, that's where we have another 97% chance of 2 cuts. So it's 25 in October, and it's 25 in December, and the market is very satisfied with that prediction, giving us over 97% for both of those. So 97% odds plus 99% odds gives you a decent idea there. TQ is pulling back a little bit. I'm going to get out another 5% here at 05s, or sorry, 03s, so we'll do that there. And then, you know, the banks were really weak today, including JP Morgan, or are really weak today, including, fortunately, I didn't get out of enough of this. JP Morgan, I don't think I want to. I like JP Morgan. We'll see if that can hold out. Still a lot of hope for this, holding out 290. But yeah, banks, not great since earnings, man. Their high was 316, 317, now down to 293. So that's 10% off on JP Morgan. Yeah, bye-bye the market. Is that what it is? And bye-bye Apple, or bye-bye Beyond Meat?
A little bit of everything, I think. Right. Beyond Meat coming right down into 320s here, so I'm covering a little bit on the way down. Where else am I sitting? Okay, I'm sitting just there as well, so that's probably going to come in if we come in and hit $3. And 257's coming back here on the Apple. I'm glad I took out a bite of that one as well, as that pulls right back in, and then kind of we're respecting that 25K a little bit on the Nasdaq. That's what I was looking for. Got lucky kind of being in some of the right stuff here, but we'll see. I don't know what's going on, man. Everything is probabilistic, right? Everything is with a probability. Nothing, even though I understand, like, you know, when we're on the show, it's just like we say things, we make statements, but you got to remember, as a trader, everything is in probabilities. Yes, I think that this is going to do this, but with a probability of this much, right? It's like, okay, do I think that we're going to trade a little bit higher or lower after we cannot get above this 425 level? I think the probability is higher than lower. And in my head, it could be 60, 70%. I'm like, all right, I'm looking for this for a lower move, but I'm not 100% sure. You can, if anybody's 100% sure of anything, you either have you have some sort of informational edge or something else, right? Anyways, $3.20 right now on BYND. Day low is coming in at $2.60. I don't know if we're going to get quite there on BYND by the end of the day, but you know, I'm just waiting, watching, just seeing, trying to be as nimble as possible. If it'll have me, I am more than willing to participate there. Apple catching a little bit of a bid here. I'm seeing some wipes on the tape coming in as well. Make sure I have all the orders set out there for that. But yeah, no, a little bit of a flush coming in. I'm curious to know whether or not we print $3 on the day today. I think that's a little bit interesting to me, whether or not we have that kind of a follow through or not. Apple's coming right back in. Hey, okay, all right, cool. We'll see. We'll wait. Covered a small chunk of it on that pullback, but if we're going to come right back in, then you know what? It is what it is. Only covered about half, I think, on that pullback there. But the pullback on BYND, oh boy, wow, that was that 10,000 shares that just got smashed on the bid? Let's see what that was. Yeah, buddy got filled 28s, I think. On what's an X gate? Is that new 24X? Might be.
You know what? I haven't seen any X's.
Yeah, it might be that.
Okay, well, that was on Beyond Beats?
Yeah, that was on BYND. Hello.
Okay, we'll have a look at that. What's up, Adara?
Yeah, just keep an eye here on China. I'm going to put the FXI up. We had comments coming from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. To my knowledge, he concluded his remarks to reporters, but he did say a couple things of note. Keep an eye here on the FXI or any Chinese ETFs here. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying that, quote, everything is on the table with regards to talks with China, but saying the U.S. is also going to be coordinating with its G7 allies. He also highlighted there's going to be a substantial pickup in Russia sanctions, which will be announced today or tomorrow. Keep an eye on oil potentially with that in mind. Back to you.
Pickup in Russian sanctions. Okay, the market won't really react too much to that, I don't think, about Russia anymore. I mean, that was not really a negative headline. Even when they invaded Ukraine, I think the market was up the next day and a couple weeks into that. I mean, Raytheon, wow. Raytheon reported 2 days ago. This stock is just straight fire, man. I mean, some of these sort of an LMT, Lockheed Martin, just what a report. These guys had just a couple of days ago. So I like Raytheon again. It's a war machine, but we'll get that all figured out. LMT is another one here. And I don't want to talk, there's many different markets out there. Some people won't invest in an Altria because it's killed millions of people with cancer and all that kind of stuff. And I can see that people won't. I also get the same talk about Palantir and people calling that stock an issue for those reasons. Because Alex Karp, you know, the drones and all that kind of stuff. So we'll wait to see what happens here from 400 to 510. LMT, Lockheed Martin still has a little ways to go back there to the upside. A safer play, I mean, Boeing is involved with NASA. They're involved with many of these companies. So maybe you can wrap your head around investing in some Boeing. And I think that's a decent little level there for BA. We just got out some more cues here as they're near those tops that it's been at. Boeing's a good little trade there today or soon as well. All right, what's going on with Donut? We do have IVF, nothing. Okay, we do have IVF. I saw some of that was starting to go through a little bit here. Oh, wasn't this a couple dollars the other day? IVF up 12, yeah, so there we go. We get that huge move up when Donald Trump was talking about that. I think that was last Friday, and now is a nice move to the downside. So you can see, you know, all these meme stocks, they're not all built the same, man. I mean, here we go. You might have got excited about that. You're long somewhere around here. It's at 60 cents. It was at 40 cents at one point, 50 cents there. So up today, but still downside play there as well. Why don't we have, maybe we should have a poll. All right. Why don't we do Tesla? Let's just do Tesla. Green or red at open tomorrow. I don't even care what the percentage. Green or red at open tomorrow. Not from this current price. Wherever it closes, we don't have to worry about price. It's, oh boy. OB.
Yo. Coming up.
We did it, man. This was one of those trades again, Obi. Just like we said about, remember, we said we're going long the TQQs when that broke. We gave you 10 minutes or so of preparation. No, it's going to be a poll, everybody in the chat. The chat is going off right now. We got to wait. We got to give Andre. Okay, there it is. Here we go, man. Everyone just boom, boom, boom. I'm going to say, da, 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 da. We're going to go with green, everybody. We're going to go with green. We're going to say that Tesla's going to go moon. When moon?
When moon, indeed.
400 votes, and it's 50-50.
I still have.
Wow, what is this, the U.S. election or something? Not this last current one. I mean, that was a little bit of a blowout, but right there. 50-50 at 500 votes.
Whoa.
Oh, boy. Attention, Ramin, if you're sitting over there. Attention, Ramin. At 4:29, we have the next best video out. This is all of your homework, including you, Obi.
Yes.
Watch this immediately at 4:29. I don't know who this is, but there's a nice car in the background. That's it. I'm out of here.
Oh, okay.
Ramin's like, that's Elon. Like, how does this idiot not know that?
Come on, Ramin. Come on.
Oh, that's Elon. Oh, my bad. Elon, some guy, I don't know his last name, so I'm not even going to say it. Ramin, last name? But there it is, Elon today. Watch this, it's at 4:29. It'll be right near the end of the, it'll be right at the end of the recap show. So the earnings may or may not be out. Oh, Ramin, that's a problem. What if the earnings don't drop until 4:30? We got to fade to black and drop this video there. But anyways, yes. Look at this. Look at this, Obi. 770 votes. And it's 50-50 right now.
All right.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Andre, for getting that up. The people like it. That's for sure, man. 50-50. All right, Obi. I voted.
What'd you vote?
Green.
Okay.
So, again, we're not going to hold anybody to this. It doesn't.
No. Yeah.
It's literally just a guess.
Yep.
But if you could have a guess.
I already voted, though.
Oh, yeah, no. So I'm going to ask you.
Okay,
I didn't see.
Yeah.
So what did you vote?
I voted red.
Okay, good. There we go. Awesome. So we have dueling heads right now. Red v green. We'll see. What are you guys voting, man? Vote.
Red is my favorite color. So by default, I'm probably just going to be like, you know.
Okay.
But,
okay. So it didn't really matter the stock.
You might have been biased.
You might have been voting red if I say IBM. You're voting red.
Yeah, I'm just be like red.
So
we'll look for some red.
You're dead red there.
Maybe. Red Dead Redemption.
That is right. The video does have a red Tesla.
Exactly. There you go. There's a red background. There's a red Tesla.
But Tesla is the green Tesla. There is no factory green for Tesla.
That's Elon Musk.
Oh, is that who that is? Is Elon Musk? Okay.
Yeah. So that's
all right. Let's Valero. Some news about Valero, maybe. Adara. Yes, Valero starting to kick up right now. Let's go to Adara and see if there's anything going on.
So as far as I can tell, some of these moves in that space seem like they might have something to do with the fact that, as I mentioned, probably a couple of minutes ago, maybe 3-4 minutes ago, Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, said that they're going to be announcing more sanctions on Russia. That'll be happening either tonight or tomorrow, he said. But also keep an eye here on MOS and NTR. MOS is potash, Nutrien is fertilizer. Both of these seem to be moving after that announcement from Scott Bessent with regards to Russia sanctions. So Valero, that could also be related here. But the ones I saw specifically were NTR and also MOS. Back to you.
My bad, of course. So if there's more sanctions on Russia, we talked about no refineries here in Canada. Big Valero, right? So the refining name there, if there are sanctions, good look there, Dara, thank you for that. Valero, so that's a good look. I actually own a little bit of this company as well. So Valero, nice little upside play there. So good look, thanks Adara for that one. So, as this market rips right now for us, as we are now $1 and change in the money, I go over to you, Obi, Apple, you got BYND, and we're getting ready for a big recap show today with Tesla and IBM and all that. But how are things going over there on your side?
Not too bad. Yeah, I'm excited for this earnings season here as well as we start to kick things off a little bit. Yeah, we're kind of we started a little bit yesterday. Wow, that's a little bit of a bid there.
Let's go
on BYND.
Oh, BYND.
So that's coming in kind of hot. Coming into the end here, so I got to watch out for that one and potentially just look to maybe just get out. What time is this? 3:30. Okay, all right. So if it's 3:30 right now, you know what? I think I'm okay with this one for now. I might come back tomorrow and revisit this BYND here if it'll have me once again. So yeah, solid trading on the day today. Solid trading vehicle on the day today. I can definitely do a little bit better, with execution, of course. Execution can be much cleaner here on BYND off of the open. I really did like the short. but didn't get as aggressive or as involved as I really should have. And I did think that was because I felt a little bit chasey down here at 620s. I think the better prices to get in were in the pre-market session in and around here where we push up into those 720s. And then maybe once again here, I don't mind these tries that I had underneath VWAP. They just didn't work. There's no real continuation. And then we get a little bit of that push and maybe lack of follow through here on BYND as it pulls all the way back up to 760s and then pushes right back down again for a multi-leg down halt all the way down into $2.50, $2.50 and some change there. So yeah, pretty solid trading there, and then nice little capitulatory action potentially there with some of the highest volume happening and then slowly grinding all the way back up into $4.20s and then taking another leg once again here. So okay, it didn't really get me out on that. I'm just gonna push out on that one there, and yeah, we'll thank you. Come again on BYND. Maybe tomorrow it'll poise for some continued action that seems to be pretty solid and directional as well. So BYND, I know a lot of people were kind of talking about the swings. The swings were pretty solid as well overnight, 2 or 3 days. A lot of people accumulated into that $1 level as well. Going into the move, the $2 level, day twos, the $2 level came in the after hours, and then yeah, absolute blow off today in the pre-market, man. What a crazy.
That was you absolutely nailed that Beyond Meat.
I mean, I nailed the idea. I nailed the idea, but that's the thing. The ideas can be there. The execution is what we're trying to get better at. Right?
Yeah, you and I mentioned that numerous times.
We've sat here long enough being like, all right, these are some of the trades that we see, like these are the ones. These are the ones we need to be in on. These are the ones we need to be aggressive on.
Yep.
But okay, now I'm at the level where I'm just like, all right, when I see those, I have to get really comfortable, take those reps, put in those wins, and get comfortable with that trade. And shout out to Wayne, because he says this. He's like he takes some trades and he's like you're not gonna be comfortable sizing up unless you win. So
right.
You got to win first.
Right.
Make sure you win. So that means build a strategy. Make sure it works. Make sure you have the confidence in those stats, and then you put some cushion underneath you with that strategy. Then you're just like, you have the utmost confidence.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, now I can definitely smash into this. So I think that's something I'm definitely working on getting a little bit better with. So we'll see.
For sure, that's something that you and I talk about all the time. Having that confidence. So there it is, man. We're still long in the TQs. We already hit. So we hit it early at 107.50 all the way down to 104.80. So we already hit $3 that way, and now we're hitting $1.50 the other way long. So not too many trades for me today. We had Beyond Meat early, long, and out. And thankfully we were out. I'm glad that Obi had that short, but that was a good one. DraftKings is very close to stopping out, man. A break of 75 and we're out. It's right now on the 200 period. And again, like all of these notes, I mean, I know right now it's getting near the end of the day, but if you're looking for some trade ideas, just come follow. 55,000 followers, and we had today some great ideas, man. We had the Google long 253. It's my P&L number 1. Today is Google, so you can imagine. Donut long 4, we have that. We can go look at that. Beyond Meat long 7. Heyo. There, DraftKings long 34. So we go pretty much 3 for 4 right there. The only loser that I have on board is Beyond Meat, and it's not it's affecting the net, obviously, when you lose, but it's not having a huge effect today because we're able to find some other trades. But there it is right there, 34.80. It looks like we're getting ready to drop below, and then we'll be stopped out of that one. And then look at what's happening right now. There we go, $1.30. It's the futures. They're fantastic, and I love trading these, Obi. I think that's again another sniper trade. Like it's right there, boom, and it's right here, pow. You know that old Batman, Adam West?
I've heard the name, but yeah, pow pow.
Never heard of Adam West?
I've heard of him, but when you say Adam West, I can't be like, oh yeah, that's a name I know, and then relate it back to a face. You know what I mean? He was in Family Guy. Okay, he was one of the voice actors. Oh no way! Okay,
he's the OG Batman.
Okay.
So was wearing like the nice cloth knitted outfit with like the grandma made mask, and he had.
I've seen
and that's where I came up with all these.
Yeah.
That's exactly the reason, because you know, he used to punch Penguin, it would go boof, or bam.
I remember the video where they're on the dock with like they have like a little like him and Robin are trying to hide the explosive, right?
Dare has one word for that. Yes. Hiding the explosives, and they would so it was really. Anyways, if you're not sure what we're talking about, the old school Batman. I used to watch it at lunch and everything with my mom and my brother and all that. Like when I came home from school and stuff like that, it would be on. It was very, 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 very classic, man. I don't remember what Batman's name is, but I think he's also an actor that I should know. So, but anyways, Batman and Robin, and you know, I can even remember Penguin and Riddler and all of that. Those were some great. There, but yeah, Obi's getting a lot of credit in the chat for Beyond Meat. I mean, you've really been trading that really well, so I want to say a shout out to that as well. It's 340 right now. We have the imbalances coming out. You worried at all about the imbalance? Oh, you're out of Beyond Meat now.
Yeah, I'm out of Beyond Meat right now. But
so imbalances probably.
Apple might be something, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm waiting. I'll wait for these imbalances to potentially come out to get involved here. Yeah, about 20 minutes left until the close. 10 minutes left until these imbalances come in. Out of that BYND. Thank you for the meal, and maybe we have some again tomorrow. At 25,000, we did kind of break through that and pushed up a little bit higher there on the Nasdaq. So yeah, Nvidia went past its VWAP, Tesla went past its VWAP. Alphabet is turning back a little bit. Amazon actually got to its VWAP. Microsoft and Apple and Google were the only ones that really didn't get back to their VWAP. All right, so we got a couple super chats here. So Howard in the chat saying, Sean mentioned on Monday that BYND could meme. I bought 10 October 31 calls at 62 pennies and sold them today for $6.42. Absolute banger. Shout out to Howard. Great trade there, and yeah, great call out as well. So solid trade there, Howard. All right, we got another one as well. Did we cover David's trade as well? All right, so David's trade of the day. All right, so Tesla 390. Was it 390p puts? All right, Halloween expiry, champagne or tequila after hours? Yeah, exactly.
Both.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see. Why not both? Exactly.
Why are we limiting ourselves?
Why do we have to pick one? Come on.
Is that what it is? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he gave a trade. He did not.
Champagne or tequila after hours?
Okay. Well,
Tesla, he's getting Tesla puts.
Congrats.
For Halloween expiry.
Congrats to Howard on that one, man. I mean, big time. I'll just say congrats there in the thing as well. Hey, look, man. I mean, sometimes we get it right around here, so I'm happy to be part of that with you. So great job. I didn't have a chance to pick up any options. Unfortunately, when we're here on the show, and I talked about this at dinner last night and all that, it's like it's tough to sometimes get right in there because we have all these ideas. We're talking literally all day about stocks. So sometimes, like some of the ideas that we'll give out, Neil, myself, Sharif, or Joe, or you, or anybody, we go over so many things throughout the day. And I've seen like someone give Sharif like a great super chat for saying, you know, thanks for the code on plug or something. It's like we're looking and trading these things all day, all of the time. So all of us obviously are very grateful for all the you know, call outs when we get things right. But ultimately, I just want to say thanks to everybody else, because it's you guys watching, and it's Howard that has to go in there and buy those you know, options. Because if you're sitting here and taking all the trades, like I only trade 4 or 5 names a day. Neil trade 15 or whatever. He talks about that. We talk about that. Not every single trade that we put on. I'm trying to do it a little different. I'm trying to put on every trade as if I think there's going to be some juice to it, and like bangers. I know you're sort of the same way. We don't just stop out with a 10-cent hitter all, but we all have different strategies. That's where I want to say, like, listen to everything that we talk about. We know that Joe's working on something. Sharif has rules that he sticks to. We all have our own little thing, but ultimately at the end of the day, take a little piece of everything and try to figure out what style works best for you, and go with that. Because you and I talked about it earlier before. How many traders have we seen come through here? So many. Literally, Neil even said himself, 3 out of 100. I finally made him, you know, not admit, but give some kind of a number there, where it's 3 to 4% of the traders are successful ones. And so you talk about finding your pod. Like finding people, and I think we found one with our groups here, right? Finding people that are like-minded traders that have similar ideas. and then adjust your risk profile, adjust everything around that, and then go from there.
Yeah.
You know, and hopefully we give enough ideas that you are now, you know, identifying opportunities for yourself. How many times in the chat do we get great ideas from our viewers, right? It's more often than not. So we don't thank everybody for all that as well.
No, absolutely, Sean. I think you make a great point there. Thank you all for kind of you know, reciprocating and joining along as well. There's only so many ideas I can take. I'll have like 10 ideas in the morning, and I've gone through this multiple times. I'll miss a good chunk of my ideas because I'm focused on, you know, just a couple of names. Because at the end of the day, yeah, there's going to be, when you look across the market, there are over 5,000 stocks in the market. There's definitely going to be edge somewhere around. There's definitely going to be people making money here, there, here and there. But the question becomes, what are you good at doing? Right? I can have 10 ideas, but if I diversify my my mental capital, being like, all right, I'm going to try to take all of these, I'm not doing justice to what I can do best, which is, okay, pick one or two stocks. Figure out if they're the ones for you. They might not be, right? And there's going to be a lot of days where you miss, and that's fine, right? That's part of trading. But trying to perform the best at those specific stocks is the way to do it, right? Because again, it goes back to the same thing. The market is vast. There's people playing. There's all different kinds of participants, right? What kind of participant are you, and how do you maximize that to the best of your ability, right? How do you? I think that's the key there, and that's what I'm trying to strive to do. And I agree with Sean. The team here, definitely, we're trying to strive to get bigger and better, for sure.
Yeah.
Not just with the show, but with our trading as well, obviously. And yeah, that's #1 priority for me, for sure.
Yeah, I do think it's. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all.
So I wanted to say something too, because this is just regarding my trades. I'm getting out now. You know, we just broke. We only have like 10% left right now, so we're starting. Now we have 5% left. Starting to get out. We did break the 21 period moving average right there. Plus we have this coming through soon, which is your imbalance locator, right? And so in the money nicely now $1. We're just going to get out of everything. Well, I'll hold. Excuse me. I'm going to hold 5% of it for a break of 104. Okay, so let's put that order in together. 103.99 right there, breaking lower down. We'll get out of that one, and we'll get out of that one quickly if it does break, because in just 3 minutes we do have the imbalance locator that's going to populate and give us some more trade ideas and the open interest into the closing print. So that's essentially, and not essentially, exactly what that means. So it looks like Valero shares are still going higher right now as we do. And I'm calling up Tesla because this was another one that we actually, this is part of the reason why we went long. And remember, it's trying to understand like why I'm doing something is one thing, and then if you agree with it, you can join. But I remember Tesla just had already broke the 50 period or the 200 period moving average, which is green, and I was like, okay, I think there'll be some love for this name into the close, and if so, then we want to get on the futures, because Tesla with earnings in just a matter of now 13 minutes, you're going to join a great duo one more time, Sharif and Adara, on the close for that. So get ready for all of that. Thank you so much. Oh, here. Andre, oh, here, I can get it up there. I never used the right thing. All right, I got to find the super chats getting back in on the screen there, but maybe Andre can or somebody can find that. Where are the super chats? Right here at bottom. No, I don't even see them in my super chats right here. Okay, I got it up right now. So we'll send that one. There it is. So Smart Film Masters. Right there. I hope you got some smart films going on there as well. Thank you guys for the work you do every day to keep us lazy, dastardly informed. Yeah, no problem. I mean, I'm not super, what's the opposite? Or I'm pretty lazy myself as far as all of this research and all of that is concerned. I mean, I got to give a big shout out to Sharif and Adara and Obi and everybody around me, because it's sure we can put up the ideas and we can hit those bangers, but it does take a what they call it, something to build a village. It takes
a village to raise
a farm.
Child.
Yeah, so that's it, man. Yeah, it's all a puzzle, Sebastian. You're right about that. You got to put those pieces together, and we do a great job of that here with only 1 minute left. We're, like I said, we have some targets upside. Let's go TQQs. Let's put something at 50 in case it does blast higher. Well, we just get it right there. Let's put another offer right now in the 70s. See if we get that. We are now moments away from all of that, man. Adopt the Ozan fund. There you go, Ozan. You can get that cow going on for you as well. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You're short, I'm long. We've got DraftKings on our mind as well. That's about, if this breaks through here, 80s, we're out of that one. So it takes a village to raise a village. Okay, that's not it, but thank you, Rusty, for you in the chat there as well. All right, man, we are now 10 seconds away from a update on the imbalances. So get ready to rock and roll with us. Just a matter of moments here, and we'll get it 3, 2, and 1. And watch out. Watch DraftKings go. Must be nothing on DraftKings, so we're not worried about that. Here come the TQs. They pushed up there a little bit. BAC with a buy. Nvidia with a buy here as well. That's ticking back up to 180. We like that level. Rigetti's had a tough day, but it's coming with a bid as well. Look at all these bids, right? So it looks like we're right about trying to hold on to some of these futures plays. So that's a good little level there. iBit also Bitcoin with a bid here into the close. It's nice. Sorry that you're short, but Apple came out with a little bit of a bid there. So that's probably got you out. Intel as well with a buy. So all buy side, but nothing too dramatic, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, did get a little punched out on that one. That sometimes when those imbalances come in, man, it is absolutely aggressive. So you got to watch out for that kind of action to potentially come in. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah, strong little wick there. But we pull back in here on the Nasdaq as well at the same time. So yeah, looking pretty decent. What else do we have here on these imbalances? We got some SMR here with a sell imbalance. Okay, that's interesting.
Should I buy some back of SMR?
Yeah, that one.
What do people in the chat think?
Yeah, that one. I think bigger picture. I like the technology. Like I think there is a strong meaning to it.
Look
but
where it dropped into, Obi.
Yeah, it's. The thing is,
right in
I think it could be a long while before some of these actually come into fruition in terms of like having significant products out there, and you know, making an actual dent in terms of you know, revenue and stuff.
Let's check out the poll. All right, so will Tesla's earnings? What? Dude, I don't know. We've never had results like this. 1,600 votes, 50-50 on red v green. We get a prediction from Wilson Capital over there? I need a prediction from Wilson Capital. Tesla green or red tomorrow at open? I said green, Obi went red.
He's going green. I mean, listen.
First of all, you don't have your mic. So.
Same way, brother. We're going green.
That's right, that's right. All right, Wilson Capital, Katina Capital, we're on the same page there. So that means probably red. But we're both on green. We're both. Well, yeah.
We can just sell calls after, baby.
Okay, that's why. This is why. See, this is why. This is why we're merging.
This is why.
He's like, don't worry, we'll sell calls. We'll get this figured out. Man, what a good addition Joey Options has been to the team here. So we're really happy to have him on board. Thanks, Joe, for everything that you're doing as well for us. Okay, man, it's DraftKings. I might just punch out of everything right now. It doesn't look like DraftKings wants to give me the juice, so let's just go ahead there. We'll execute. Okay, well, we punch out and get a couple half prints there. So we are now out of DraftKings right here. And again, on the sticky note right now was 34 long. So we're happy with that one. We are going to wait for the TQs to break a little bit lower, but 353 right now. Our stop order is still in, breaking through 104. I'll stick with that. Well, now let's up it. Let's go to 104.20 and not really give too much of this back. 104.19. My birthday's on the 17th. 104.17. We'll do that. Whoops. Yep, okay, it went out, perfect. 104.17, we'll get out if that does break a little bit lower. But it's gonna be IBM, it's gonna be Tesla, it's gonna be LVS. Man, we like that IBM, go IBM. Really like this stock, man. I've been buying this one since we were We1. Tesla earnings coming out after earnings as well. That's had a nice run here in the afternoon from 430 up to 438. Nice $4 or $8 on that one. We have LVS as well, Las Vegas Sands, a bit woo. Take note of this. Right there, heading into earnings for Las Vegas Sands. Right there, Glenn Smith in the chat says Tesla beats 75% of the time. Okay, but then sells off 65% of the time. So a beat doesn't necessarily mean stock goes up. We've seen many cases of that as well. We're looking for the guide, we're looking for information, and we're looking for Obi to drop some knowledge.
Yes, sir. So guys, for too long, trading meant risking your own money or never having enough to start. The fear of losing, that's what kept many traders on the sidelines. But that's changing. Trade the Pool is transforming how traders access the markets. With its limited risk trading model, traders use funded capital while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, consistency, and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is the revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation.
Oh, we went short on DraftKings, my bad.
Right, so yeah, that Apple short definitely didn't work. It finally got back to VWAP here as the market continues to trend a little bit higher here. So yeah, back-to-back greens on this one. The reversion definitely came through pretty nicely. That 257 held well, and buyers kind of stepped up on top of some of those prior highs. So nice reversion on that Apple. You can see it much nicer here on a 15-minute chart. So when I go to Apple right here, so it's already on 15. So right there, boom. Nice reversion after some strong selling that did come in, and a push all the way into VWAP. So I was definitely wrong on that one. The reversion of the downtrend was definitely the trade, and that followed through pretty well going into the end of the day. So I have to kind of review some of my stats on that. I'm just like, some of my stats are just like reversions to VWAP end of day may not necessarily be the best, which has me kind of taking potential stabs at a counter on that Apple, but it does come in pretty nicely. So again, market is coming in alongside it as well. So I got to respect that a little bit more. Tesla and Nvidia, yeah, very, very strong. So almost back at its opening range low is Tesla on this absolute strength in this market. So Tesla here pushing all the way back up. 439s, the opening range lows all the way at 440, 441s almost. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. 441 was a bit of an interesting area. And yeah, I'm excited for Tesla earnings. Tomorrow's going to be day one.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Some of the strongest catalysts on this name are, first of all, their deliveries, then it's earnings, of course. But something to watch out for sure.
We also got to figure out, we got to figure out if there's any news about the Model 3 or Model 2, sorry, and where we go from there. Look at that out on DraftKings.
There?
So no, my stop triggered by, because I didn't cancel my stop, but that was a good out there at 84 and then saved us a little bit. Look at DraftKings right now downside, so that was a good save. And then here we go, man. TQs, doesn't look like we're gonna have too much of a problem here. I'm just gonna offer right now at 49 and cancel. There it is. That trade is now finite. So we are now cleared out of all of our trades. We do not have a loss from top, and we had a good day, about 3 times our goal. So we're going to start upping our goal a little bit, but that was still good, man. We hit our goal pretty early there today with some of the shorts that we had and some of the positions that we had on. We did lose, so we were down a day or so or whatever on Beyond Meat. We weren't doing that great there. We weren't feeling it, and then DraftKings came through almost immediately off the open at our posted 34 level. We had Donut that came through right away, now down though. Still up on the day, but that was good. And then Google was an absolute banger. This is my P&L number 1 today, not the futures. But then the futures came back the very next day and gave us some money back on the long. So not back, made some more. That was the short and that was the long. So about 5 names for me. We'll go 4 and 1 today. Wow. And another good day with only 2 minutes to go. Let's check out what Elon and company, Tesla, again, still pushing, man, into the close. So that's going to be a good one. I'm still checking for Blue Jays tickets. Now the lowest World Series game, 7. I'm only looking for game 7. I'm going to game 2. Game 7 right now is $1,800 right now, Canadian. It's not for one ticket. It's not like the end of the world because it's game 7, and I think it's probably reasonable. But these are you can imagine where the seats are. They're not the greatest for $2,000. Club seats? Come on, Sharif, man. I don't have that. I'm trying to bring a family to these. I'm going to say probably $40,000, probably. Yeah, okay, there you go. Wow, okay, that was right. All right. Nice. Yeah, and again, it's just a matter of everyone spend their money where they want to, but I think I'm not dropping, mortgage payments or anything like that on tickets, but some people will. And it's going to be, imagine a Game 7 Jays Dodgers. I mean, like I was telling my kids when we won the World Series in '92, '93, I remember, running outside in our pajamas. It was obviously, wasn't that late for me then, it was, but banging pots and pans. And even last night, or 2 nights ago when the Jays won, my next door neighbor, we were inside of our house and I heard him erupt.
Really?
Yeah, and I went to the front, our front little patio there, and about 30 seconds later, he came out, and we sort of high-fived and had like that little good fun times there. As it was chaos in the streets of Etobicoke, which is just a little bit outside. I mean, it's Toronto. It's like a district, a borough of Toronto, the west side. I'm about like a 25-minute drive, kind of with no traffic.
Not bad at all.
It's not bad. It's none of it's highway. If there was a highway, it'd be a little different. It's all like street. So, all right, 10 seconds left. Here we go. Obi is going to watch the World Series, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, man. 5 seconds left. This closing show is brought to you by Obi. So there it is. Thank you so much for that. What a great day. Make sure, Obi, all your orders are canceled, as mine are. All right, we do have a Tesla video coming up for you right at 4:29. Stay tuned to that. Obi, congrats, man. Great trade on Beyond Me. We're back tomorrow to do this all over again. I think it's going to be Neil back tomorrow. So thanks for filling in for today. I'm back tomorrow as well. So my daughter hurt her knee a little bit at hockey. She's not going to do cross country. So unfortunately, that's fine. All right, it's Tesla right now. It's IBM. It's the recap show. It's Sharif and Adara today. Ciao for now.
Take care.
Welcome back, everyone. The future is all in red territory. Doesn't matter where you look. Guys, let's look over the markets right now. The NQ tried to recover a little bit at the end there, getting back above 25,000. Nice little recovery for the NQ. The ES performs the best out of all 4 major averages today, down only 0.5%. The Dow also taking it on the chin, losing 47,000 again, down 0.75%. And below 25,000 again we go on the Russell, down 1.5%, the worst performing major average on the day. Also, Adara, crypto still below that 110,000, unable to recover, getting clipped again, 3.5% as we await some big earnings here.
Yeah, tons of earnings, guys, and I'll just put this on the screen so you guys can get a sense of what's reporting when. Second half of this is going to be tomorrow morning, but tonight we will get KMI, LRCX, LVS at 4:05. Also SAP and VKTX. Then at 4:10 we get IBM and Alcoa, and then we get the man of the hour, Tesla, coming through at 4:15 p.m. along with QuantumScape. QuantumScape by far the largest expected move, not only tonight but also tomorrow. Oh, I like this visual. Yeah, we'll see here. Again, first up, it's going to be KMI, LRCX, LVS, and then, of course, VKTX and SAP. I will be keeping track of all those for you. Sometimes they can come earlier. With IBM also, I saw someone saying here they might actually come at 4:08 rather than 4:10. So that would be hyper-specific, but I'm keeping my eye out either way. I think Tesla by far, though, is going to be the most exciting report here.
Absolutely, yeah. And here's what we're expecting from Tesla after the bell today. It really depends on where you look, but for the most part, they're expecting Q3 revenue on this guy to come in at about $26.25 billion, and they're looking for only a 4% year-over-year increase on that number, and that would be one of the slowest years for Tesla in terms of revenue increasing. And even with the pull forward, guys, of that $7,500 EV tax credit, which expired on the 30th, they're also looking for margins, guys, here. We're talking about compressing margins, but, you know, all that's really, I feel, priced in already. Everybody knows it's been a bit of a headwind here for EVs, so it's going to be about the next step for Tesla. So much of this company's valuation is based on the future, so there's going to be a very good, or I want to say very, attentive listing to the to the robo-taxi during the earnings call, as well as Optimus, as well as the more short-term narrative when it comes to licensing for some of these robo-taxis in the United States. We saw today Baidu really getting their foot in the door with respect to Europe, so that should be interesting there for that. And I believe let's bring in the Market Chameleon over here. Conference call for Tesla expected today at 5:30, guys. So yeah, it probably behooves you to listen to that conference call for QuantumScape as well at around 5 o'clock. And here's what we're expecting in terms of market moves. So let's go through some of these moves over here. Tesla, the expected move is plus or minus 7% for the day. Last time around, it dropped 8.2%. But often we talk about Tesla really, reacting negatively to earnings and then recovering in the days to come. from QuantumScape as well. Adira, 13.5% expected move. That one should be volatile after the bell, as well as Lam Research, 6.5. Seems like most of these ones over here in the mid-single digits in terms of expected move.
Yeah, by far the smallest that I have anyway is KMI, Kinder Morgan, but that's a bit more of a stable name, so that certainly makes sense. But yeah, the largest, it's not even close. It's going to be QuantumScape. We're going to have to wait and see here with TSLA. It is worth noting, though, I was just looking at this chart in the 1 minute to kind of give you guys that earnings action. Initially, we moved higher here after the bell. Now we're pushing a little bit lower. To my knowledge, earnings are not out here for TSLA, but we will certainly keep you guys posted as earnings come out. We have Goosehead right now. It's 4:04 p.m., so we're just waiting here on these 4:05 numbers. But yeah, I think IBM should be an interesting one as well, again at 4:10 or 4:08, depending on what you look at. Pretty solid report last time around. Generally, these segments, the segment growth was pretty well received, but software revenue, while it increased year over year, slightly below estimate. So that could be something to look for with IBM's report at 4:0 or 4:10. But right now it is basically 4:05. So we're getting ready for these first sets of numbers. We have Tesla out actually.
Okay.
TSLA is here. Q3 revenue, 28.1 billion versus estimates of 26.36 billion. So that would be a beat. Again, 28.1 bill. Q3 adjusted earnings per share, 50 cents versus 54 expected. So sales beat, EPS miss, it looks like, for TSLA. Q3 cash flow, 3.99 billion, well above estimates of 1.25 billion. Gross margin here, 18%, slightly above estimates of 17.2. So again, guys, better than expected. Q3 gross margin, cash flow, and revenue. Only issue here is earnings per share.
Yeah, I'm not getting any of that. Here we go. I'm getting a little bit coming in as my blotter updates. Not much scheduled for volume production in 2026. Cybercab, Tesla, Semi, and the mega packs are on schedule for volume production starting in 2026. Okay, we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Randy and I talking on the midday show today about that very elusive Semi that comes out of the Nevada plant. Very few of them other than the ones that have been delivered to Pepsi so far. The Cybercab is the larger of the autonomous driving vehicles. Remember this one, it looks like a futuristic cab. Here we go, Cybercab, just a moment. This is the Cybercab right here, guys. We thought that, you know, maybe a new platform, the Model 2, would be based on this, and then it ended up being that they just delivered a cheaper Model 2 and Model 3 variant. But Tesla still really zigging and zagging over here. Not really much in the way of price action difference. We dropped into the area close there that we got into at 430, bouncing off that 430 level, and then we also price spiked up into yesterday's closing print at around 442, recovering now daring to 439.
Yeah, I have Lam Research and Kinder Morgan. I'll start with Kinder Morgan because I have it up here. Big drop here for KMI. They did beat on sales here, 4.146 bill versus 4.063 bill expected, but they had in-line EPS here, 29 cents per share. Let's move on to LRCX. I just got LVS as well. So we have basically all these 405 numbers, more or less. LRCX adjusted earnings, $1.26 per share. That is above estimates of 122. Sales, 5.324 billion versus 5.232 billion expected. That's a double beat for LRCX. Now we have LVS, that would be Las Vegas Sands. They're going to be on watch here. Also, guys, Kinder Morgan guiding slightly below here for fiscal 25 adjusted EPS.
I have LVS here.
And then, yeah, LVS, I just got up here. Q3 adjusted earnings, 78 cents versus 60 expected. Sales, 3.331 billion versus 3.031 billion expected. Double beat.
Yeah, good look there. We'll keep a look for IBM as that comes in at 410, but good reaction, good price reaction here by LVS, spiking up into 44.50. It's a little illiquid right now, guys, but $1 spread, 46 on the bid, 50 on the ask, or the opposite, excuse me, as it goes back into 53, up 4.7%, actually trying to take out 6% now. LVS, good market move here as this segment's been hit quite hard, whether it's in Macau or in Las Vegas, with fewer people traveling to Vegas as of late. Waiting for IBM to come out, guys. QuantumScape really got hit here in the day before earnings, dropping 11.33%. It's actually short sale restricted on the day. We'll keep tabs on that. Lam Research spiking up into 150, Adara.
Yeah, Lam Research, as we mentioned there, nice double beat there for LRCX. I want to mention as well here, Oracle on watch, not earnings, but a catalyst. And if you guys think it might have something to do with OpenAI, you are very much correct. OpenAI, Oracle, Vantage Data Centers all together announcing a new Stargate data center site. This one's going to be, though, in Wisconsin. Now, apparently, Vantage is going to be investing over $15 billion in Port Washington. Now, as part of this deal, OpenAI says they think they're going to add roughly over 1,000 long-term jobs and thousands more indirect jobs. So, again, Wisconsin investment here for OpenAI, Oracle, and Vantage. Now, LRCX will go over those numbers again here for those who missed them earlier. LRCX with the double beat, $1.26 per share for earnings. And then we also had sales 5.324 bill versus 5.232 bill expected. We already got Tesla, which I think was the biggest one we were waiting for. So nice early Tesla. Again, that was an EPS miss, but a nice sales beat. We have SAP as well, which I will go over here. That's going to be a SAP. It looks like they're down here. They did miss on sales, Sharif. 10.547 bill versus 10.57 bill expected, but nice EPS beat, 185 versus 169 expected. And I just got IBM.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep, I'll go over IBM. So they're a double beat. You couldn't really necessarily tell by looking at this pretty choppy chart, but they are a double beat. Q3 earnings, 26 cents per share versus, $2.65 per share versus $2.45 per share expected. Sales, 16.331 bill versus 16.088 bill expected. Double beat for IBM, which is our second headline earnings name of the night after Tesla. Their earnings report, again, double beat, but stock not necessarily reacting so well here, Sharif.
No, not right now. And the quantum area has been getting hit as well. Obviously, IBM a lot more than quantum, but one of their divisions. Yeah, we're keeping an eye here. Double beat, as Adara mentioned, 265 versus the 245. Good revenue growth, 16.3 billion. Ahead of the 16 expected. We'll look for more commentary as that comes onto the blotter. They're talking about constant currency revenue up, which is good because we've been seeing a lot more headwinds with respect to currency in the past years. Not this year, though, as the U.S. dollar weakens. They're also talking about their AI book business now standing at more than $9.5 billion. That is IBM, of course, as they look to monetize AI and prove profitability. Continuing going over here, let's keep an eye out on what else is coming in from the blotter. Yeah, nothing new here with respect to IBM. Let's have a look at Lam Research, see if anything is coming out here with respect to that.
Guidance.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I do have some guidance here in LRCX, and I've been dropping some stuff in the chat too when I can, guys. So if you have any questions about earnings, I've been trying to drop this whenever possible in case people are just looking at the chat here. So Q2 adjusted, because I guess they just reported Q1. Q2 adjusted earnings here, they're guiding between $1.05 to $1.25 versus estimates of $1.04. So that is a beat. Sales guidance also better than expected for the entire range. 4.9 bill to 5.5 bill versus estimates of $4.811 billion. So again, double beat for LRCX and guidance better than expected across the board, but bit of a drop here for Lam Research. It looks like IBM, I'm not seeing anything else here, nothing else on LRCX. People were asking me about VK TX, like Viking Therapeutics. I don't have anything on that yet, but I think other than that, we've gone over basically all the names we were expecting to have. Alcoa.
Yeah, I've got Alcoa right here.
Okay,
yeah, it's dropping into about 35 right now. They did report a quarterly cash dividend that the company is reporting. They're going to pay about 10 cents per share to be paid on the 21st of November. Looking at some of the metrics over here, they reported Q3 adjusted EBITDA of around $270 million. Looking over here, let's just go ahead and look at the blotter. What else we got? Revenue came in at $2.9 billion for Q3, excuse me, of 2025. Net income coming in at $232 million, with earnings per share coming in at 88 pennies. Adjusted, though, net loss of around 6 cents per share. The stock is dropping here, down 10% now. Alcoa Energy, as it loses some technical levels, 33.75. Let's continue on to see what else we got. No, it's just the same repetitive stuff. Looking for commentary specifically on Alcoa. We'll go ahead and load this one up. It looks like their alumina segment production shipment guidance. Yeah, that's not really that important. Anything that you have new?
It's not earnings, but Moderna's down here, and I do want to mention it. So mRNA dropping here, announcing phase 3 study of their investigational cytomegalovirus vaccine did not meet primary efficacy endpoint. So looks like the efficacy endpoint was not met for one of their vaccines. That's what's happening here with mRNA. I got VKTX, so we'll go over VKTX. We know this is what I know Neil at one point was involved in this name. So they had a Q3 earnings miss, larger than expected loss of 81 cents per share versus 72 cents. expected. Yeah, we talked about Alcoa here already. IBM, people were asking here about the guidance. They did talk a little bit here about their constant currency, I guess their growth there for their revenue. They're expecting constant currency revenue growth of greater than 5%. Doesn't say what period that's going to be for, but either way, double beat again here for IBM. Someone was asking me about LUV. We do not get Southwest earnings until tomorrow morning.
All right, let's talk a little bit of IBM here. They're talking about adjusted profit coming in at 265. Their software segment grew nicely, 7%. That accounts for 7.21 billion of their revenue, which beat estimates. They said Big Blue also saw strong demand for the latest mainframe, which is an iteration of high-performance computing, new AI cycle. They say the new mainframe, which is powered by specialized AI applications being used widely now in the financial industry. I'll keep looking here. Infrastructure segment, housing its mainframe saw revenue increase 17%, now up to more than 3.5 billion. But their AI book business, as I mentioned earlier, grew the most, up 9.5 billion. That's $2 billion just from the second quarter alone. That's quarter over quarter. Revenue for bookings from consulting accounted for about $7.5 billion, and they grew various products. He said consulting revenue was about 3%, grew about 3% to $5.33 billion.
Yeah, QuantumScape, I'm not seeing yet, guys. People are asking about that, but we'll go over Tesla again because we did get Tesla. And guys, stay tuned at 4:29 p.m. We will be getting a brand new video prepared by Ramin. So shout out to our awesome production team on TSLA. So they did have a revenue beat here, 28.1 bill versus 26.37 bill expected, but adjusted EPS a little bit lower than expected, 50 cents compared to the average analyst estimate around 55 cents per share. Gross margin 18%, operating margin 5.8%. Regulatory credits coming in here at 417 million versus 381.5 million. And again, as Sharif mentioned earlier, their Cybercab, Tesla Semi, and Megapack 3 are on track for volume production in 2026. Apparently, their Optimus production lines also being installed ahead of a mass rollout. So that's the detail there for TSLA. Still waiting on QuantumScape. The second I see anything, I will let you know. And it looks like we just got these earnings in. I'm going to read through this report.
Sure, yeah. Looking at the different segments for Tesla over here, very interesting to see how much they are generating in terms of revenue for each segment. As Adair was mentioning, services, other revenue, 3.4 billion. Total automotive revenue, by far their largest top line, 21.21 billion. Let's look over here. We'll see what else is coming in. Automotive revenue, as I mentioned, looks like yeah, I'm just looking over here at some new stuff, if you allow me. Energy generation and storage, 3.42 billion. We were talking about that on the midday show. Very interesting how they're able to grow that revenue quite aggressively in sort of a non-friendly green energy environment right now, where regulatory credits are being pushed back. Services, just looking at some other revenue data points here. Nothing new that I can see on my end. What do you got?
Yeah, so QuantumScape, I've been trying to access their report. I went on their website because it wasn't available here online, and then it said there was an issue with the site. So I don't have the earnings yet, unfortunately, but I do have this piece of news they released simultaneously with the earnings report. They've announced a shipment of B1 samples. Apparently, this is achieving a key annual goal for the company. If I do see any updates on their actual earnings report, I'll let you guys know what it looks like. I just saw it. So earnings per share here, they reported losses of 18 cents versus a 20-cent loss expected. That is a beat. Revenue apparently coming in line. I'm not seeing what the number was for the revenue, but it looks like in line here. And EPS apparently, or loss per share, improved reportedly by 22% year over year. So that seems like a good look. And announcing something at the same time, the earnings report's never a bad look. And thank you guys so much for being here with us. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and thank you to Beta Pro, brought to you by Global X, for bringing us this awesome recap show. Sharif, yeah, there's tons to look over here. And still
just looking for the revenue to come out here from QuantumScape. It seems like it's just coming in little by little here on the blotter. So the second we have it, we will report it to you guys. Very interesting company who had a tie-up with Toyota earlier in the year to actually get the ceramic sort of battery that they're making there to market, rather than just being sort of a science experiment. It's moving up here, recovering a little bit. It was down over 10%, recovering in the aftermarket here, about now down 5%. Just still waiting on the actual report itself. As soon as we get it, we will let you know. Some of the names we've been watching today: Viking Therapeutics, down all the way to $29, down 6.7%, recovering a little bit here in the aftermarket. QuantumScape, as I mentioned, moving back up off that 10% drop. Tesla still negative in the aftermarket here, despite reporting better than expected results, down 1.75%. Alcoa, that one took a big hit as they had some issues there. Anyway, down 7.5%. IBM also negative, almost 3%. It's really Las Vegas Sands and Lam Research, the only two companies that are green here that have reported earning. Kinder Morgan also down 2.5%, and SAP 6.25%, Adara.
Yeah, Southwest earnings out here, which is interesting because I was seeing they were supposed to report tomorrow morning, and they actually released something this morning saying they would report tomorrow morning. But here, I guess they come early. It's unexpected earnings here, 11 cents per share, obviously better than the estimated loss of 3 cents per share. Sales, 6.949 billion, beating estimates of 6.921 billion. I feel like you guys know too about certain comments being made by Scott Bessent right now, U.S. Treasury Secretary. He's talking here about the gold price rising has helped the U.S. substantially, and that he expects that CPI could be coming down next month or the month after. So CPI data going to be on watch. We know that's set to be reported on Friday, so that is something to be aware of. Honeywell apparently announcing a new business structure ahead of their aerospace spinoff. They're set to report earnings tomorrow morning, unless they pull an LUV and release anything earlier. But QuantumScape, let me see if I have the revenue. I still don't have the revenue, but as mentioned, better than expected or smaller than expected loss per share, and they announced these shipping samples just started too.
Yeah, I see the shipping samples. I'm also seeing the filing of an 8K. Still no details on that. We'll continue to watch and see whatever comes into the blotter over here for QuantumScape. But it's about to go green. It just got right back into that official high day that it had. 1540 just popped up, guys, into about 15 1/3. Really recovering off that 10% drop. In fact, it was short sale restricted at one point in the day. Continuing to watch here as we await those numbers. I still don't have anything on my blotter with respect to that. Watching Tesla as well, as it still drops 2%. Also IBM still dropping over here as it losing that 275 level down into 272.25, also down 2.5% here. We'll await some of these more the results here for QuantumScape, and we'll let you know when we have them.
Yeah, we'll go over LVS again because I know you mentioned that was one of the stronger ones, but been a while since we went through these numbers. Q3 adjusted earnings 78 cents per share, beating estimates of 60 cents. Sales 3.331 billion, well above estimates of 3.031 billion. So this is pushing higher here on a better report. They also added $2 billion to their buyback program. That's always going to be good. And they raised their dividend by 5 cents from 25 cents to 30 cents per share. So good look here across the board for LVS. Nothing in that report to really make anybody too worried here. We'll go over LRCX as well, Lam Research Corp. This report was, again, as I mentioned as well, earlier pretty solid. Much like LVS, we have a double beat here. Adjusted EPS of $1.26. Sales 5.324 billion, and guidance better than expected across the board. Their entire range, top to bottom, is going to be above estimates. Tesla, guys, the numbers already came out. We did have the EPS miss and the sales beat, and if you guys want more details, please stay with us. In just 9 minutes, we will be debuting a new video with all the details, and we're going to keep looking for QS for you guys.
Yeah, we got 18 pennies. It looks like they missed by 18, or they actually lost money, negative 18 pennies per share, which I guess beat by 2 pennies. I guess the street was looking for minus 20 there. Nothing still yet. That's the only thing that's coming to my blotter there. We can look over some other earnings reports. Let's see what IBM is reporting over here. Give me a second to load this up. What do we got in terms of IBM? So for the year ending, it looks like $265 a share. As we talked about that, revenue rose 9.1% year over year, coming in at $16.25 billion. This is for IBM. Software revenue for the period was $7.21 billion. Consulting, infrastructure, and financing generated about $5 1/3, $3.5 billion, and about $200 million respectively. Other revenue accounted for about $38 million on the quarter. They added free cash flow during the period was about $2.25 billion, which is a 15% increase year over year. The consensus estimate for their earnings or for their profitability was $241 on $16.1 billion, so easily beating on the top and bottom line. And here's what the CEO said: this quarter, we accelerated the performance across all our segments, and again exceeded expectations for revenue, profit, and free cash flow. Clients globally continue to leverage our technology and domain expertise to drive productivity in their operations and deliver real business. Their AI book, as I mentioned earlier, now stands at $9.5 billion. Given the strength of our business, he said, we're raising our full year outlook for revenue, growth, and free cash flow. Not a bad look for IBM, but still negative in the aftermarket.
Yeah, I want to talk about some other non-earnings names that had news after the close, one of them being Moderna, mRNA, down about 4.5% post-market, announcing that the phase 3 study of their investigational CMV vaccine did not meet the primary efficacy endpoint. So missing estimates there, I guess their own endpoints, not a good look there for our friends at mRNA. Now, I want to talk about Oracle as well. stock not reacting to this other than this little volume spike to the same degree as what we saw with Moderna. But either way, we do have more news coming with Project Stargate. Now, this time, Stargate's going to be moving here to Wisconsin. OpenAI, Oracle, and Vantage Data Center planning to construct this data center campus in Port Washington, Wisconsin. Vantage, for their part, going to invest $15 billion. OpenAI saying this will directly create at least 1,000 jobs, and then apparently thousands more will be created indirectly. So that is the look. Fannie Mae naming a new COO, so you can maybe take a look at FNMA here, a new acting COO, so or CEO, like I guess the former COO is becoming the acting CEO there for FNMA. Yeah, still Steve, all I'm seeing for QuantumScape is that better than expected loss per share.
Yeah, likewise. Still keeping an eye here on the aftermarket scanner to see if there's anything moving in the world of small cap gappers. Not really seeing a whole lot here. If I see anything, guys, we'll let you know. Just continuing on, yeah, it was a negative day on the market. Generally, the NQ was down 1%. The Russell, the worst of the bunch, guys, down 1.5%. The Dow was down 1%. The ES is down now almost 2/3. It didn't close that way. It looks like it's selling off here a little bit in the aftermarket, and we continue to bleed on Bitcoin. Another 3 3/4 a -% day, but it really is the story of gold dropping down, but look, green here in the aftermarket as it recovers a little bit from the sell-off. It defended 4,000 quite well, only dropping down to 4,021 on the continuous contract, but above 4,100 now. Look as the traders look to take profits off the purchase by the Chinese and of course the central banks. Yeah, it's an interesting look as well. The 10-year also dropping below 4% for the second time in the day, and nat gas also down 3.4%, and the oil as well continues to trade below $60, closing out at 59 and change a day. Anything on QuantumScape?
Yeah, I still don't have anything beyond those losses per share. I'm wondering at this point if we get anything else, but if we do, I'll certainly keep you posted. We're talking about Lending Club earnings too, though, because this is one that is also responding pretty well, and they had a double beat. 37 cents per share here for Q3 earnings, above estimates of 30 cents. Sales, 266.231 million versus estimates of 256.297 million. So that's a double beat. With regards to gold too, Sharif, I do want to mention, as I mentioned earlier, we had some comments coming from U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent after the bell, and he said basically, you know, gold rising is good for the U.S. So interesting note. Maybe to be aware if you're for gold, not like it would really help GLD, but I think still something to notice that the government is watching this, is tracking this. He also said that he expects, if not this month a decrease in CPI, then certainly next month they'll get a decrease in that CPI.
All right, we're getting comments here on Tesla, so I'm just going to read them off as they come into the blotter. Tesla Semi and Megapack 3 are in schedule for volume production starting in 2026, with the first generation production lines for Optimus are being installed in anticipation of volume production. You can just show the screen, Fabian. The headlines on there. Here we go. Also as well, gross profit also increased sequentially year over year and hit a record $1.1 billion, reports Tesla over here. Also, they say they have sufficient liquidity to fund product roadmap, their long-term capacity expansion plans, and other expenses. So Elon saying money not really an issue here. Looking a little bit down, let's see what they said here. Achieved the highest quarterly energy storage deployment, which was bolstered by the continued ramp of their mega factory in Shanghai, and another record quarter for Powerwall deployments, reports Tesla here in the aftermarket. They also, as I mentioned, they said they have sufficient liquidity for their product roadmap. Looking over, see what else is coming in over here. If you have anything, you can just feel free to interrupt me.
Yeah, I don't have too much right now here, truthfully.
Yeah, all right, continuing on here, just to look down, see what other comments are coming from the earnings report. Energy deployment, bolstered continued roadmap. Yeah, just the same thing that I read there for Tesla. Now, I want to mention QuantumScape here because this name was negative about 10% on the day, and it has now recovered. Not only is it green, it's up 1.25% for QuantumScape. Again, we don't really have much in the way of information other than to tell you that their Q3 EPS was negative 18 pennies, which beat the street's expectations of negative 21 pennies. I did see that they had increased their year over year. Yes, here's what it is. So even though they were negative by 18 pennies, it was a beat by about 15%. It's a 21.74% increase over losses of 23 pennies per share from the same period last year. So it looks like they're able to shore up a little bit of their cost, despite the fact that they're an R&D capex heavy business with not a viable product to take to market quite yet, Adara. So interesting look here as this stock recovers now positive.
Yeah, only a couple of minutes now until the end of the recap and until you guys get to check out that brand new Tesla video, so don't go anywhere when the recap ends. But, you know, Sharif, you just mentioned QuantumScape going from red to green. We have to talk about a stock that went sharply green to red, and that's going to be Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat had a really crazy journey today, as you all saw. High of day near $8, low of day, what was this, $2.68, and right now we're not at low of day yet, but we're continuing to push lower pre-market. So BYND, I'm certainly going to infinity and beyond to the downside at the very least. Let's take a look at DNUT, which was the other, I guess, short squeeze play of the day. This one also pushing a bit lower. So interesting that we have these names kind of go from boom to bust in a matter of a day or a couple days. Yeah, guys, again, Tesla, certainly going to be something to watch tomorrow. IBM as well, with a fairly strong report and better than expected guidance, just really not able to push higher today.
Yeah, and Tesla looks like it's going to hit the low of the day, guys. We're back down into that 430 area. We only actually dropped about 429 during regular trading hours. That's the official low. It tried to go green by going back above 442, but it was immediately rejected. This is one of those situations where you feel it really is going to come down to the call and what the product timeline is that Elon states during that call for all the stuff that we're pricing into this $1.4 trillion market cap. I'm seeing more stuff come in here for Tesla, saying making prudent investments that will set up vehicle, energy, and other future business for growth. Actual results will depend, of course, on a variety of factors. So this thing says Tesla, difficult to measure the impact of shifting global trade and fiscal policies on automotive and energy supply chains, the cost structure, and the demand for durable goods and related services. So more information coming here as we await, obviously, the earnings call again at 5:30, guys.
Yeah, so we're going to have to send you guys off. Thank you so much for being here on the very exciting market recap show with Tesla and IBM. And if you want more Tesla, don't go anywhere. A new video. See you guys tomorrow.